you're totally probably safe to ride on your spare for what, 6, maybe 9 months?
After a 7-1 win last night, the Lancaster Barnstormers will now look to make it a 3-game sweep against the York Revolution. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome into Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel baseball. Eric May, Andrew Mossbrooks, glad to have you along on this overcast Sunday afternoon. Andrew, less than 12 hours ago, or a little more than 12 hours ago, Lancaster Barnstormers picked up their 5th consecutive win. And in both an agreement, pretty impressive fashion in all aspects of the game.
Exactly, all aspects of the game. The hitting was there. The pitching, the starting pitching was terrific, and the bullpen shut it down. 4 innings for bullpen action. Only 1 hit allowed. 10 strikeouts across the board for Barnstormers pitching. 6 of them came from starter Nate Reed. He went 5 innings. Terrific. We were a little surprised they didn't go beyond that, but as we'll hear a little bit later on in our pregame show, we talked with Ross Peoples, and he kind of details that a little bit more. So we'll wait for that to come up. But yeah, this team, in terms of their pitching, I thought was excellent. For their hitting, you know, the team has been scoring runs left and right at such a high rate over the last few games here. I mean, they're on a 5-game win streak now with last night's games being factored in. 42 runs over 5 games. You'll take that any day of the week and any time in the season when you can. I think the 7 runs, we didn't really see it feel like that offensive powering game. But then Blake Galen, late in the game, 3-run shot, and that's what they needed to do. They had a 3-1 lead when Reed left the game. Your bullpen comes in. What do you want to do? Make it easier on your relief guys. And they did just that, getting a 3-run shot, eventually tacking on another run after that. 7-1 win. Barnstormers have a series win guaranteed. They look for a sweep tonight and to make it 6 straight as they are chasing the Sugar Land Skeeters for first place in the division.
Yeah, and Sugar Land suffering their first loss of the season last night. So entering play today, the Barnstormers just a game and a half behind the Skeeters in the Freedom Division, and Sugar Land is coming to town to Lancaster for a 3-game series beginning on Tuesday. So we're obviously looking forward to that series, but more importantly, an opportunity to get a sweep against the York Revolution. So we're looking forward to that. We're going to step aside. When we return, it is the Gockenauers Home Appliance Dugout Report coming up next on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Craft beers, local wines? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, all new for 2018 is the Broken Bat deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat will feature more than 20 local craft breweries and product from 2 local wineries. If something with a little more kick is your adult beverage of choice, a local distillery is part of the Broken Bat as well. Food will be sold off a pub-style menu, so get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
Hi everyone, Adam Gockenauer here for Gockenauer Appliances in East Petersburg. We are as excited as you that it's baseball season, and we are thrilled to once again be partnering with your Lancaster Barnstormers. We are also excited this season to introduce some awesome new appliance colors on display now. Come and see the new colors of slate, black stainless, and black slate. These colors will give your kitchen a great look, and of course all of them are at the best prices around now at Gockenauer's. I'll be back after the break to tell you about our special Barnstormers summer promotions.
Welcome to the Gockenauers Home Appliance Dugout Report, and of course, being it's Sunday, joined by Barnstormer manager Ross Peoples. Ross, last night's game, that 7-1 win, you look at it, every aspect, you got a contribution, offensively, defensively, and strong pitching.
Yeah, we did. Yesterday was a pretty good game for us. We've been playing pretty well the last few games, so that was good after starting the season off at York, and they handled us pretty good the first series. It was good to bounce back against Southern Maryland and, play a couple good games here. And, hopefully we can keep it going today on a Sunday.
Offensively, you look at this lineup top to bottom. You got a great night last night out of Rico Noel at the number 9 spot. But really, 1 through 9, you've got to be pleased with the production you've been getting.
Yeah, so far it's been very good. Still early, so we're still trying to find some roles for guys, and pitching been great so far. Still trying to find roles. A lot of guys that are new in the bullpen, trying to fill them out, see what they can bring to the table, and find roles for them. But I think offensively we've been playing very well lately. Been aggressive, running the bases well. We still got to cut out some of our middle mistakes. But, that'll come. Sometimes that happens early. But, I think the most impressive thing, you look the other night, we only struck out one time. Last night I think we struck out, 4 or 5 maybe. So that's good. We're putting the ball in play, and we're trying to grind out some bats, and that's good to see.
So I guess as a manager, you would love to be put in a situation where you really have to figure out, okay, everybody's producing. Who am I putting in the lineup?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's the one thing I always try to do every year is putting together a team. I always try to make sure I got several guys that can play multiple positions because, in this league, that's important when you got guys, leaving or signing or retiring, whatever you want to say. That's always good to have, and I think that's what, we got several guys that can play multiple positions, so that definitely helps. And, all of them playing pretty well so far. So, like I said, we're trying to put together the mix and find out, where guys fit best at. Just put them in situations to succeed.
And last night, Nate Reed, a very solid 5 innings. Are your starting pitchers kind of on a pitch count? Are you working them just 5 innings right now to work them into the season, or could he have gone longer last night? No,
well, most of them is on a pitch count. We started off with 75. Then we might, second time around, jump up to probably 85. But, we kind of stick to a pitch count, but also, kind of look at the flow of the game and kind of situational stuff and so forth like that. So yeah, we right now we got our pitchers on a little pitch count, and we'll, especially for the first 3 or 4 outings.
And you got to be pleased with the performance of the bullpen, especially last night, 4 shutdown innings.
Yeah, like I said, our pitching's been great so far. We're throwing strikes. I talked about offensively earlier, but if you look last night, I think we had like 10 strikeouts and either 0 or 1 walk, which is, always good. It shows that we're throwing strikes and we're pounding the zone, and that's especially good to see this early.
Yeah. Now, you talk about trying to find the right role for certain players. Brooks Hall, who was going today, last year was a starter and a reliever. What are the plans for Hall as far as this season is concerned?
Well, he's gonna be a starter for us. A lot of them guys, they done a little bit of both throughout their career. Or maybe the last couple of years they might have started, might have done some spot starts, might have been in the bullpen. So he's going to be a starter for us, and we're going to depend on him to be able to go deep into some games here coming soon.
Yeah, and then last night too, the at bat by Gallon, the 3-run home run. Yeah, what kind of an influence does he have on maybe some of the newer guys here in Lancaster and some of the younger players?
Well, I think Blake's a great guy to have around, not only on the field, but in the clubhouse too. He's got a good little personality about him. He gets along with everybody. One thing that makes Blake so good is he's got an approach and he sticks to it. Consistently. He don't change much. He sticks to his approach. Every game, every at bat, and that's what makes him successful. And if you watch him, throughout the season or his career, that's a big plus for him, and that's why he's always been successful, where he's been pretty much. But he's a great guy to have and a great player to have.
Yeah. Now, after this game today, you've got a big series coming up with Sugar Land. How exciting is it to have an early season showdown so early in the season?
It's early, but obviously you can look at the reports and all, and they're playing some pretty good baseball right now. I heard they got some pretty good pitching and got some pretty good players. So it could be hopefully it'll be a good series. Hopefully we can come in and we can continue what we've been doing. But we'll worry about that Tuesday. We need to take care of York today and keep the momentum going.
All right, Ross. Thank you very much. Good luck today.
You got it, War Eagle.
All right. Ross Peoples, Lancaster Barnstormers manager. We'll be back with the starting lineups on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Now we're back with you again to tell you that we are back this season with Weber Gas Grills. We have the best selection and prices in the area on Weber, and if you mention this ad, you will receive 10% off all in-stock Weber accessories. Don't forget, we also fill your propane tanks here at the store. Don't waste money on exchanges when you can have us fill your tank and save you money. We are your appliance and gas grill headquarters. Come see us today on Main Street in East Petersburg or on the web at gawkenhours.com.
Okay, John, shelves are stocked.
So are the new Fast Play games from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Just pick your game, get your ticket, and see if you've won.
Like Word Search, with top prizes of 20 grand.
Yep. Winning's never been faster.
Not faster than me clearing these shelves.
Dude, I hope you're even faster at restocking.
Yeah.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Here are the starting lineups for this afternoon's ball game for the York Revolution, and fifth-year manager Mark Mason. Jared Mitchell will lead off. He is in right field. Travis Witherspoon, the center fielder, will hit second. Zach Wilson at third base, hitting third. Michael Burgess, the first baseman, will bat cleanup. Luis Cruz is the designated hitter this afternoon, hitting fifth. Ruby Silva, the second baseman, hits sixth. Jose Tabata in left field will bat seventh. Ryan Dent, the shortstop, bats eighth, and batting ninth and catching is Tyler Clark. Going on the mound today for the Revolution, right-hander Jay Gauze, a record of 1 win, no losses, and an earned run average of 3.00. Did face Lancaster back on the 26th of April, pitched 4 innings, gave up 3 runs, all of which were earned, gave up 4 hits, struck out 3, and walked 2. Gauze was not part of that decision in that ball game. For the Lancaster Barnstormers, 6-3 on the season and winners of 5 straight. Their offensive lineup will look like this. Darian Sanford in center field will lead off. Rico Noel will bat second at second base. Blake Galen in right field this afternoon, hitting third. Joey Tardashevich at first base, batting cleanup. Ryan Castile is the designated hitter this afternoon, hitting fifth. Vladimir Frias at shortstop will hit sixth. Anderson De La Rosa behind the plate catching, hitting seventh. Keenan Walker in left field bats eighth, and Carlos Garcia will be at third base this afternoon, batting number 9. Hall, he did face York last Saturday through 5 innings in a 3-2 loss, although Hall was not involved in the decision. He scattered just 2 hits and a run over 5 innings, walked 1, and struck out 4. Hall, a former Milwaukee Brewers farmhand. Last year he was 2-4 with a 5.28 earned run average in the Arizona system at the Class A AA Jackson and Class AAA Reno. And you know, you look at this, Andrew, not only his lines, but again, go back to the box score from last night. Barnstormers pitchers are not giving up the free pass.
No. Yeah, what was it, 1 walk and 10 strikeouts to go with it. I mean, they're very good stuff. And as far as it goes for Hall, he's a 3-pitch pitcher, 2-seam fastball, change-up, slider. His fastball is going to come in there mid-90s. At one point in AA last year, it clocked up to 97, so he can throw the heat sometimes. He's also got a late break on that slider, mid to late 80s, and then the changeup that he mixes in there a lot with his 2-seam fastball. So he seems to throw those pitches a little bit more. His slider is probably a strikeout pitch. This is a guy who played really well last time, and going back to what Ross Peoples was saying, you know, you're going to monitor the pitch counts a little bit. So he was out 70 pitches. Now he's going to be given a bit of a longer leash. Maybe see him throw around 85 pitches in today's game. Big opportunity for a guy who has the strength to do it. And Ross even mentioned, hey, he's a starter here. And that's interesting because 15 games last year, 8 as a starter, 7 as a reliever. So he did a little bit of both. Of course, Ross mentioning that a lot of guys have done a little bit of both when they get to this stage of their career. But he's a good arm for this team. And if needed, that bullpen will come into play once again. But perhaps with a longer leash, maybe you don't think as much about the bullpen. You just kind of let Hall do his thing on the mound.
And obviously early on in the season, you want to try and get everybody some work. It's as the season progresses, now you're going to look at, okay, now you have to give a guy an extra day rest, especially with the bullpen. But let's face it, Ross was a pitcher. He knows the routine. Yep. He knows exactly which buttons to push and at what time. So, yeah, only 5 innings for Reed last night, but as that season goes on, we're going to see these guys starting to toss a lot more. And when you have a bullpen performing like they have been recently, that's got to be a nice feeling to Ross to lean back on.
And you know that York can hit too, but their pitching is the weakness when it comes to this matchup against Lancaster. Lancaster totally outshining them, and you've got Jay Gauze going for the York Revs right now, and we mentioned last time out, not very good, only throwing 66 pitches and 37 strikes, so his splits didn't look that great either. The highest level of play he had was when his career began in 2014, and he was in affiliated short class against the Tri-City Valley Cats. So going to be interesting to see what happens, but the Barnstormers certainly looking for this 3-game sweep.
All right, we'll step aside when we return. First pitch, York Revolution and the Lancaster Barnstormers on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Find stories that will inspire and surprise. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. See all that the Hall of Fame and Museum has to offer and plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Fans, please remain standing and remove your hats. Veterans are invited to salute the flag as we honor America with our national anthem performed today by Lizzie Plackett.
We are set for baseball. Final game of this three-game series, York Revolution and the Lancaster Barnstormers. Eric May, Andrew Mossbrooks, glad to have you along on this overcast Sunday afternoon. Although, I'll tell you what,
we're
Andrew,
not sure.
last night it was not sounding good, and I'm kind of glad that the weather predictions were wrong. So it looks like we're going to get some baseball in this afternoon after all.
Yeah, right now we are looking at a first pitch of about 64 degrees, too, so not too bad. A little windy right now, but not really much. I mean, yesterday the flag was really blowing when the game started. Today it's a standstill, and as you mentioned, it looks like the weather forecast has changed since last night. We were a little worried about some rain coming in today, and that appears not to be the case. So as you mentioned, forecast is wrong. We've got baseball.
Brooks Hall finishing up his warm-up tosses. Lancaster looking to make it a three-game sweep against the York Revolution. And as we had mentioned earlier, the Sugar Land Skeeters coming to town for a three-game set beginning on Tuesday. Dave Collins will be returning back to the booth after attending his son's graduation this weekend. Hope he enjoyed that as well.
I'm sure he did, and I hope when he comes back, he's hoping that his team has a chance to clinch first with a series win over the Sugar Land Skeeters. And you mentioned Brooks Hall. We talked about it being a three-pitch pitcher, but you're going to see that two-seam fastball a lot. That is the pitch that he likes to execute. Again, 92 to 95, right around the speed. He'll throw that, and he can dial it up once in a while if he wants to. He's a 28-year-old minor league veteran right now, so he has been around. Right-hander with the Barnstormers, getting his second look this season. 5 innings pitched against York already, allowed 1 run, 2 hits, and struck out 4 as we get set for opening pitch with Jared Mitchell up to bat for the Revs.
Mitchell in the series, 2 out of 8. Lancaster, good job yesterday of keeping him off the base paths, because York has got a couple of guys that when they get on base, they like to run as well. If you can keep those guys off, makes the pitching, I don't want to say easier, but just a tad bit easier, one less thing to think about. Here's our first pitch. Mitchell swinging on it, and 0-1.
Well, I'm sure if you reverse that question and you tell the Revolution, hey, if you keep the Barnstormers runners off the base paths, you'll make things easier. That is 100% true. We saw that last night.
0-1 pitch fouled back to the screen. 0-2 on Mitchell on the season, hitting at 182, a pair of home runs, one home run and a pair of RBIs.
And he had a ball well hit deep to right center last night. That one just being able to stay in the yard. A good catch made out there.
Yeah, Trayvon Robinson saved a run.
I mean, at least I think he did. That one was close. If he doesn't catch that.
Yeah, that was right at the base of the fence. On the run yet. So 1 ball and 2 strikes on Mitchell. And he fouls that one back. Our umpires this afternoon, after a rotation, Doug McFarling behind the plate calling the balls and strikes. Manalo Alejandro on the first base line, and Jorge Tyron working the third base line.
Should also mention it's Bark in the Park Day. If you didn't hear already on the mic, it's picking up a little bit.
1-2 pitch, and another one fouled back. It's been a good opening weekend for the Barnstormers. Wins both Friday and Saturday. 6,900 people in attendance Friday night, 6,028 last night.
Good crowds.
And a decent crowd here this afternoon.
Not quite the numbers we saw in the first 2 games, but still a lot of them coming out and enjoying the game.
1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Mitchell down on strikes, and Brooks Hall starts off the ball game with a strikeout.
Yeah, 83-mile-an-hour slider, which we talked about as maybe that late break pitch that he's going to go for a little bit. He got one in there, caught Mitchell chasing, and it's 1 down on a strikeout swinging.
So with 1 down, here is center fielder Travis Witherspoon. 2 out of 7 in the series. Scored the lone York run last night.
Yeah, hit a double, but also struck out twice over 4 at-bats. Flied out to right on the other one. That was in the first inning. And you mentioned he falls behind 0-1 in the count here.
For the season, Witherspoon hitting at 290. That one is up and in.
Oh, well. We saw pitches like that a little bit yesterday.
Yeah. And shaving off a little bit of Witherspoon's goatee.
And, of course, yeah, Severino went a little downstairs against Sanford.
Fouled back.
And that followed by putting Sanford on base when you hit him, and then that was the challenge of the night between Severino on the mound and Sanford on first base. And he won. Sanford won that battle after, 8 throws over to first or something like that? It was a lot.
1-2, check swing. And
it's a close one.
It was close. Alejandro said that Witherspoon able to hold up on the swing, so the count now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 down here in the top of the first inning. Got him. Back-to-back strikeouts for Brooks Hall. So 2 down in the inning. He brings up Revs third baseman Zach Wilson. Wilson on the season hitting at 300. 3 home runs, 7 runs batted in. The 7 RBIs leading the Revs in that category.
Yeah, Wilson reached on an error last night. Otherwise 0 for 4. And into a fielder's choice. Also struck out once. And he falls behind in the count 0-1. That's important for Hall right now. Just get ahead of hitters and establish your pitches. Establish that command. And so far he's done that. First pitch strike to all 3 batters.
1 ball, 1 strike to Wilson. And again, maybe the timing was right for Lancaster because York, since that opening series, they have struggled offensively. So if Lancaster's pitching really can be on track today, now's the time to face a team that is struggling.
Yeah,
1 ball, 2 strikes.
1 win over their last 6 games since starting out 3-1. So there have been some tough times among the Revolution, and of course that's what you like to see if you're a hot team. Hot team versus a cold team.
1-2, missing high and outside. So the count will go even at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Wilson. A member of the Atlantic League All-Star Game a year ago, went 1 for 3 with a home run and 3 RBIs, and with that was the MVP and also won the home run derby. So success all around for Wilson last summer, especially at the All-Star Game.
I didn't think he was going to have a successful at-bat right there. I thought that was a strike.
Yeah, that was.
I think you heard a couple of groans from the fans behind home plate.
3-2, and that was ripped right back through the middle. So a 2-out single for Zach Wilson.
And you're going to look at a pitch like that, too, and I think right now for Hall, he's thinking that, too. This should have been back-to-back-to-back strikeouts. And you watch a pitch just not get the call you're looking for. De La Rosa did what he could to just hold that in the mitt behind and, kind of square that up to make it appear as if it would be a strike. Didn't happen, and then very next pitch just whizzed over the left shoulder of Hall. And a base hit you mentioned. Revs have a runner on with Burgess up.
Burgess has had a good series. He's 4 out of 8. He has started to swing the bat better. First pitch, ground ball, and they have the shift on. And a soft toss to first from Rico Noel ends the inning for the Revs. No runs, 1 hit, 1 runner left on base. Half inning in the book. York nothing. Lancaster coming to bat on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
You're totally probably safe to ride on your spare for what, 6, maybe 9 months?
Don't trust the wrong advice. Get the right tires at the right price right away. It's what we've been doing at Jack Williams Tire right here in Pennsylvania since our family started this business back in 1929. Because doing things the right way is just the Williams way. Get the right tires right now at jackwilliams.com.
Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu.
Barnstormers coming to bat, bottom half of the first inning. Darian Sanford, Rico Noel, Blake Galen to face Jay Gauze. And we saw Darian Sanford down in the locker room. First question for Sanford was, how was the hip? Because he got drilled on the hip last night with a pitch, and he said, "Nah, I'm fine."
He's running around.
He said, "I'm a professional."
Yeah.
I said,
"Professional athlete. I'm all right."
You got on first, and we were thinking, yeah, he's going to be off and running. He said, yeah, he was a little ticked about getting hit, and so he definitely wanted to run, but had to wait for the right moment.
Absolutely, and he's batting .382 on the season. Terrific game last night and just very patient. A couple of stolen bases. Leads the league with 7.
First pitch to Sanford on the outside corner for a strike. 0-1. Sanford has reached base safely at least twice in every game that he has played. And he has picked up 6 stolen bases in the last 5 games. Gauze quickly in front, 0-2.
And Sanford going up against Jay Gauze, who had a couple of years off after injury, actually missed almost 3 whole seasons from 2014. As this pitch is outside, so the count is 1-2, but he pitched in 2014, didn't come back until the 17-18 season, and in 2014 his rookie year in the New York Penn League with the Tri-City Valley Cats. So an interesting career for Gauze that started with injury, kind of unfortunate for a kid his age, out of North Carolina, young guy, and still young, only 26 years old, so trying to revive maybe his marketability almost after missing a couple of years with injury.
That's a long road to recovery.
That is.
Wow. And strike 3 on the outside corner. Sanford kind of throws his head back in displeasure with the call from Doug McFarling. So Gauze starts out the game with a strikeout on Sanford. One down.
And I think he froze Sanford there, and I think the reason being is Sanford did not think that pitch was in the strike zone, and we just talked about that in the top of the first, where there looked to be a pitch that was in the strike zone for Hall. Didn't work out.
Here's Rico Noel. He'll look at a strike, 0-1 on Noel, hitting .533.
He was in the 9 spot last night. Absolutely terrific. It was Rico Noel. We talked about it.
Hits that one to short. Ryan Dent on a couple of hops, throw across in time. Noel retired for out number 2.
Not without a good effort, though. He ran up that bag, and that's one of the things we talked about also last night is just the speed of this lineup. You really can't pontificate it enough. There's just so much going on. These guys get on base, they get their legs running, and for York, I mean, now you've allowed 20 runs over 2 games. You got to try and stop the bleeding in this series finale. Go out with some kind of positive heading into your next series. Both teams with an off day tomorrow before coming back to action Tuesday. Of course, the Barnstormers continuing their 6-game homestand Tuesday. They begin a 3-game set against the first-place Skeeters.
Blake Galen takes low for a ball. Galen provided the insurance with a 3-run blast in the 7th inning. And to give the cushion and help preserve that win. 1 ball and a strike on Galen. He's off to a tremendous start, hitting .333, but he has reached safely in all 9 games that he has played. So he is getting on base every which way. In fact, 21 times he's been on base in those 9 games.
Well outside on that one.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
After this, the Revs are on the road again. They're in Southern Maryland against the Blue Crabs, who have also been struggling early on this season. So one thing is going to have to break, assuming the Revs lose today.
Strike 3 called, and Galen is frozen. So Jay Gauze picks up a pair of first-inning strikeouts. No runs, no hits, and nobody left at the end of 1. York nothing, Lancaster nothing on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com, too. And you can get them right on your phone, thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Luis Cruz, Ruby Silva, Jose Tabata for the Revs here in the 2nd inning. Each pitcher recording a pair of strikeouts in the 1st inning.
A couple swinging for Halls and a couple looking for Goss.
Cruz, after catching last night, getting the day off at least in the field, will be the designated hitter. Hitting .318 with a home run and 7 runs batted in. Fouled straight back to the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cruz in his 8th pro season, 2nd in the Atlantic League, and his 2nd year with the Revolution.
And one of their better batters hasn't played every game this season, but 318. And they figure, why not get a guy who can do that? And then he strikes out, though. You say that with a good batting average, but commentator's curse works. 3 strikeouts for Hall.
Both pitchers putting on a strikeout clinic here early on in this ball game. One down for second baseman Ruby Sylvia.
Slider was in there again, by the way. If you can see where the batter is going, he's fanning on it because the ball is just dropping out of that strike zone.
Sylvia swinging and missing on the first offering from Hall, 0-1.
That's what the scouting report says on Hall, though. He's got that late break slider, just fools hitters. So far, so good.
182 average from Sylvia, goes after a bunt and misses. So Hall now in front, no balls and 2 strikes. Sylvia joining the Revs in September of last season after being traded from Can-Am Association. Hit .379 with a home run and 4 runs batted in. Back to the screen. Count remains, no balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, and early on, I mean, you're only through 1 1/3, but Hall just pounding that strike zone. Not a lot you're seeing outside here.
Ooh, that one fouled off the mask of De La Rosa.
Appears okay, which is good. Early in the season, right? You never want to see anything bad happen at any time, but certainly early.
When you're behind the plate like that, that's
takes a brave man.
It's the risk that you take, and you know what? They just act like nothing ever happens. It's just part of the game. Oh, he takes another one. That one off the shin.
He's doing okay now. Now he's getting warmed up.
Of course, De La Rosa was here last season with the Barnstormers. And based on what we saw out of Ryan Castillo last night, it's going to be a nice rotation to have. That pitch missing wide, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, well, we look at their hitters, and this is a team that can play small ball better than probably any of the other 7 teams in the Atlantic League. But as far as their pitching goes, that's darn good, too, as it's 2-2 now. Count evened up after it was 5 straight strikes being thrown to Silva, 3 of which being fouled off. And so now we're at the 8th pitch of this at-bat, a 2-2 count.
And another foul ball.
So we'll continue.
Holds at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Scoreless ball game here in the top of the second. Getting a little bit darker here this afternoon.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Maybe the bad weather report's coming back. What do you think? I'm seeing these clouds are getting more gray than they were white.
Hey, if it's 5 o'clock and it wants to rain, go ahead.
Yeah.
We need to get our 9 innings in.
I'd like to. I've had a good day so far.
2-2 pitch. Got him.
There it is. This one was a changeup at 83 miles an hour. That's the average speed of Brooks Hall's changeup, and he gets his 4th strikeout. It was a 9-pitch at-bat. And that's what you like to see, especially when a guy keeps fouling pitches off. You don't want to let that guy get on base because then you're at this long at-bat. Pitcher wants to make sure he takes care of business. 2 down here, nobody on. And as Eric May had said, we are here in the top of the 2nd inning. Scoreless at Clipper Magazine Stadium.
Jose Tabata takes a strike. No balls, 1 strike. Just 4 hits in the game last night for the Revs. Tabata was 0 for 4. Did pick up a hit in Friday night's contest and scored a run.
Yeah, but remember, just 1 of those 4 hits came in the bottom 4 innings. Bullpen lights out.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Reynolds closed the game. Non-save situation for Matt Reynolds.
Ball and 2 strikes now on Tabata. And again, based on what Ross said in the pregame interview, right now it's just getting guys some work.
Yeah.
Limiting the starting pitching. That one fouled off at the plate. Tabata stays alive at 1-2.
Tabata went 0 for 4 yesterday with a strikeout. Came in the 4th inning.
So right now, Brooks Hall and Anderson De La Rosa pretty much on the same page as far as the pit selection is concerned. Well,
maybe not. Commentator's curse, strike 2.
Geez, just as I say that, he plunks him on the elbow. So Tabata, if he remains in the game, will be a 2-out base runner.
He's feeling it. Did it hit him in the...
Oh, no, not the elbow. It looked like the wrist.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, because he's feeling a little tender there. Right there, the athletic trainer looking at Tabata. Just as he touched the wrist, you could see he almost had a hard flinch there at that one. That's a stinger. And they're taking a long look at this one. It looks like it was accidental, and I certainly think so. I don't think this has anything to do with last night, although we did see some of that mean mugging stuff. But Hall was in control. He's been dominating right now. Had a good feel on that ball. This one just comes a little out.
You have to think if the count 1 ball and 2 strikes, maybe he just wanted to come up and in, back him off the plate to set him up for that sinker.
I think so.
And it's one that just got away from him. And so Tabata hit by a pitch, and fans now starting to move around because rain's starting to fall here at Clipper Magazine Stadium this afternoon.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It was a good day. I had a walking taco. We both did. Good food. Felt pretty good despite not getting a whole lot of sleep, right? That's the nature of the beast for these. Well, the fans are moving. Oh, look, and that's going to be it for Tabata.
Yeah, he is actually coming out of the ball game.
Yep, so we've got a runner on, pinch runner. Trying to see the numbers here. Didn't hear anything over the PA system to say who that was.
It's number 10.
Yeah.
It's an unlisted number.
Is that the guy that they just traded for today? And there was a now there wasn't. I'm serious. There was a transaction today, and we said, well, this guy may not come in, and he steals a base. So number 10's on.
That's going to go as a wild pitch. That pitch just took off.
Right.
From Hall. Ryan Dent at the plate. 1 ball and no strikes. Dent on the season, hitting at 167, and now Ross Peoples coming out to the mound to talk to Brooks Hall.
In the meantime, I'm texting statistician Joey Greer. We're going to try and get a name for that.
Well, I looked out I leaned back through the window, and he just shrugged his shoulders.
No. Oh, no. Somebody
go
ahead.
Follow through on your text message.
I did.
And maybe, okay.
It's been sent.
Wow.
So hopefully he's running it
pretty fast.
I know. Well, they call us millennials. I don't like the term, but there's some truth to it. How's your texting game, Eric?
Well, I get ribbed because I type out full sentences with commas, semicolons, the whole works.
I'm currently at the ballpark. I'll be seeing you shortly, roughly 6:15 p.m. Eastern Time.
You got it.
That's your kind of texting. Now, what do you think, Will?
I'm attention to detail.
Okay. All right,
help
I like that. I'm a long talker. So, by the way, what do you think Ross was talking to Brooks Hall out there about?
Well, he just wanted to make that first pitch. I mean, that just took off on Hall, and he just wanted to make sure that he was okay. Maybe something didn't happen as far as the elbow is concerned.
Yeah.
So 1 ball and no strike on Dent, and he lifts a fly ball left field. Keenan Walker will squeeze it to end the inning. A long second inning, and York does it without a hit batter, and 1 runner left on base. Through an inning and a half, York and Lancaster are scoreless on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
We can't help but always want more, especially on the road. More horsepower, heightened handling, elevated design. Get more out of your drive with a Lexus IS. Bold styling, track-tuned handling, available 311 horsepower. Experience the exhilaration of the IS 350 and IS 300. Available in F-Sport and all-wheel drive. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Enjoy weekends with the Barnstormers all season long. Every Friday evening home game will feature a different giveaway ranging from t-shirts to beach towels to backpacks. On Saturdays, enjoy the best entertainment doubleheader there is with Barnstormers baseball followed by fireworks. Sundays are fun days at the ballpark. Get autographs from some of your favorite Barnstormers players and play catch on the field before the game. Once the game is over, it's a Domino's Pizza Kids base run. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
Well, rain's starting to fall a little heavier now here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. And we did get word that the pinch runner there for the Revs was Omar Obregon. And he will remain in the game and play second base. Ruby Sylvia will go from second base to left field.
Well, I'm glad we got that information.
Really coming down now.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if the umpires are going to take a look at this a little bit.
Well, home plate umpire Doug McFarling, yep, they're calling them off.
There it is. It's delay time.
So we are in a rain delay here in the bottom of the second inning of a scoreless ball game. Lancaster not even a chance to get an at-bat as Jay Gauze was taking his warm-up tosses, and finally they said, all right.
And Ross is not happy about this, so you can see he's talking to the umpire, and what I think he's saying is at least let us play our half, but I don't think he's going to get that. Ross was having a conversation with them, but umpires are going to walk away. This is happening. Maybe.
Well, right now, it looks like they're bringing out the diamond dry. But it looks as though the umpires were calling them off. Now, whether it's going into a rain delay or just telling them, all right, off the field because they want to put the diamond dry down at the batter's box and around the bases.
Or maybe did Ross say put the diamond dry down and we'll be okay to play? I mean, not that he gets that ultimate say, but, you know, he's been around a little bit. Maybe they trust his opinion.
And I think the umpires overruled, don't they?
Okay, well, are you noticing the rain looks like it's coming down a little lighter now?
Yeah.
A little bit. It's still heavy enough that maybe you don't want to play through this. I mean, nobody has went back to the clubhouse. You got the Revolution, I know, they're standing in their dugout, all waiting to try and figure out what's going on. Ross he's up in arms. Whatever decision is being made, it is not sitting well with manager Ross Peoples of the Lancaster Barnstormers.
Well, I think there's a shortage of people to roll out the tarp. Now the Barnstormer crew is going to be scurrying to get out there, and
we've got bandwidth issue. Yeah, well,
calling all fans.
This is you want to get a chance. Well, if you didn't already play pregame catch on the field, here's your opportunity. Time for everyone to get their hands dirty. I got to be honest, I'm happy they didn't call me out. I saw Ryan, our video guy, over here near the door, and I just thought, oh no, just keep looking in front of you. Don't look behind you.
Well, we are in a rain delay, and as I say that, it appears as though it has started to let up a little bit.
Yeah, I think so.
At this point, I'm looking down the third baseline now. It appears as though they're looking at a radar. On a phone.
That's what I think. I mean, we'll pull up what weather chart we can right now and see. Get an update here. Well, thank goodness for technology.
Yeah, they're looking at it as, okay, all right, are we going into a rain delay? And if so, approximately how long is this rain going to last? Now, from what the weather reports were saying earlier today, they were calling for rain and showers.
Yeah, I'm seeing
throughout the afternoon.
I'm seeing light rain though, so although they've got some stuff over here, I mean, notice Ross is still out here talking, so there's some discussion going on as to maybe, I don't know what the discussion would be. How long do you think this is going to be? Are we just? I'm not sure. That or maybe it was a little warm, just trying to enjoy the sprinkle. I don't know.
try and get the official word, but I would think if they call them off the field, that means that it's a rain delay.
Yeah, but now they're bringing, yeah, I would think you're right. Tarp's going over the home plate.
Because Doug McFarling was standing behind home plate, and he was looking out at Malalo Alejandro, and he was saying, okay, just let's ride it out. Let's see what happens.
I think so, yeah.
And at that point, then the rain really started to pick up some more, and that's when they circled the wagons and said, all right,
yeah,
rain delay.
And right now you can see Ross, and I think he's taking a look at a forecast on a phone right now, just in front of home plate. If you guys still have that view on your video at home, as we have the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel covering this game for you. Let's see if we can pull that up ourselves. And yeah, so you can see Ross on the right side of your screen, right around home plate. He's taking a look at someone that's who are looking at a forecast right now to figure it out. It's the bottom of the second, is 0-0 game. And in fact, Ryan, who's our great guy here with video and does so many other things, he officially posted we are in a rain delay. So
yeah, and Ross now going over to talk to Mark Mason, fill him in as to what's going on.
Yeah. Now, you and I forget if we talked about this on air or off air last night, but both teams are off tomorrow, so worst case scenario, it does get, canceled for today. Do you think they play tomorrow?
You know what? I have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it would be a travel day.
But both teams are close enough that
true. They only have to go to Southern Maryland.
Exactly. You're not playing Sugar Land today and having to worry about the travel issue there. I mean, it's everybody could drive in their cars, half hour to York.
Well, that's something we're going to have to find out. Of course, we'll see what happens here, because right now we are in a rain delay, hoping to get this game in. And maybe they're saying, all right, let's just see if we can at least get 5 in and see what happens and make it a legal game.
Right. The other thing I want to know is, depending on the timing of this, and we're not going to know right now. You can see they're putting more dirt out right now, so we're trying to get the sand on, and maybe resanding the field helps. Here's the other thing. Just say this goes another 20, 30 minutes, which is possible. What about pitching? Do the pitchers come back out? Because that is sometimes the thing.
Yeah.
When you go, 30, 40 minutes, they're all trying. And you can tell right now, my guarantee, Goss and Hall, they've got their arms in a warm sleeve right now. They're trying to keep warm, but that's so hard to do.
I would think if we were probably in the 4th or 5th inning,
they're done.
That might have that. Yeah. I think that would come into play. But the fact that we're just in the 2nd inning, I think it's early enough that they would still be able to come back out.
Yeah, but you have to keep an eye on them if something looks different. And keep in mind now we're bottom of the 2nd, but we get to the top of the 3rd inning and Hall goes back out towards the end of that 2nd inning for Hall. He looked a couple of things changing. The hit by pitch, threw a couple of weird pitches in there too. Looked like he lost command for a moment, and even that ball that flew out to left, and that ball was decently hit. So,
well, and especially after, as you mentioned, when he hit Tabata, the very first pitch to Dent just sailed over the head of De La Rosa.
Yeah,
and
that's what I mean.
At that point, that prompted Ross Peoples to come out just to check on Hall to make sure that it wasn't a physical issue as far as his shoulder or his elbow.
Yeah.
And again, we don't feel that was a situation where Hall intended to hit Tabata. He was ahead in the count, 1 and 2. There were 2 outs in the inning. Last thing you want to do is put a guy on base.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
But he wanted to make sure that Hall was okay to keep going, and he did finish the inning. And then the rain started to really pick up as Lancaster was getting set to come to the plate. So we are in a rain delay, although they have not covered the field. They did cover the pitcher's mound, as you can see from the different camera angles. But the grounds crew just diligently working on putting down the diamond dry and trying to fix the infield the best they can. And hopefully we'll resume baseball here before too long, even though the rain does continue to fall here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Coming into the game this afternoon, we had heard that rain was in the forecast, so it was something that we definitely had to keep an eye on.
Yep.
But keeping our fingers crossed that it would possibly miss us until later on in the day, but unfortunately not the case.
Well, I mean, we don't really have a whole lot to recap. We're 1.5 innings in here. I mean, a couple of strikeouts from both pitchers, right? And just something I also want to point out for Hall here is, I mean, heavy in the strikes right now, but he's had a couple of decently high pitch counts through the first 2 innings. 18 pitches in the first, 19 in the second, so up to 37 there. As far as strikes go, he's gone 24 and 13 there. So, splits are looking good, but he's throwing almost 20 pitches an inning. So we talk about wanting to get his count up. Ross may be saying, all right, we'll give this guy 85 today, extend his leash a little bit, and the thought is, okay, well, if you extend it to 85, he makes it past 5 innings. At his current count, he might not make it past that. So that's something you have to look at. And you used 4 bullpen arms yesterday, and that wasn't even 24 hours ago.
Yeah, so now you throw in the factor, as you just mentioned a couple of minutes ago, with the rain, depending on how long this rain delay is, will Hall be able to go back out? If so, how many innings will you get out of him? So now Ross has to think bullpen by committee to get through 9 innings of ball this afternoon.
And like I said, I mean, the bullpen was terrific yesterday, but you still used 4 arms through 4 innings, and that wasn't even 24 hours ago. That was 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, and it's not even 2 p.m. today. So that's kind of one of those things in baseball. You're at the mercy of Mother Nature, and sometimes she can be pretty unforgiving. Certainly was in April when we were all freezing. But that's a factor that you have to play in. Baseball is important, and you know what? They were talking about this in the major leagues. When you see some of these teams that actually started out really slow and then they got hot, you say, well, the weather helped. You have guys batting in 40-degree weather. They're not going to hit as well. That's a real factor.
Or think about it, pitching. Pitchers trying to get a grip on a ball when it's 40 degrees and there's a drizzle.
Trying to keep your arm warm.
Yes. Yeah, the other thing you have to consider is, all right, Lancaster does have an off day tomorrow. So, does Ross maybe go to somebody he threw last night for an inning?
I mean, you could. I think with the off day, there's a little bit more flexibility with that. I don't know, and I got to be honest with the rain delay. I was thinking about this morning when I woke up. I was going to ask you this. I didn't know if I was going to ask you on air or not, but we have a lot of time to talk, it looks like. So I don't know if we have a lot of commercials to fill here. So how about I ask you this? It's not going to be as big of a thing for minor league baseball, but we, talk about baseball in general. And around major leagues, a big story in April was attendance issues and how Major League Baseball has really struggled with attendance, consistently on a yearly basis. It's lower than it has been in over a decade. And think about some of the things. The Oakland Athletics had a free baseball game for all fans in Oakland a couple of weeks ago. These ballpark passes have come out where fans are paying, instead of the couple $1,000s a year for a season ticket, you're paying $30 a month or $40 or $50 a month. Some places it's only for select months. Other teams, I know for the Miami Marlins, if you pay $29.99 a month, you have a season ticket. So with that, I mean, do you think that helps? Look at attendance in baseball. I mean, what do you think that's a result of? I think the weather could be a part of it. I mean, do you have an opinion on that? I don't know if this is...
No doubt. Weather is a huge factor because I know just last season it was not a nice spring last year as well, and we saw the attendance hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, Lancaster just wasn't drawing people because, again, you get a dreary, overcast, and it's in the middle of the week.
Yeah.
All of a sudden now you get a rain delay and a game goes extra innings and it gets later in the evening, not on a work night, and unfortunately.
And when the weather's
right.
bad like that,
of Mother Nature.
You're sitting there for 3 hours either in rain or you have your winter coat on. At the Phillies games last month, I was doing that, and it's like I think it takes part of the enjoyment away.
It does.
Now one of the things that they were talking about, and there's a couple of theories out there, and this is from some well-respected writers in Major League Baseball, is that they're talking about actually shortening the season from 162 to 145. In the major leagues, and they would start it a little bit later in April to perhaps help with that weather, which of course doesn't affect all teams, but there's a lot of teams on the east side that helps with. There's that, and there's the thought of maybe, and we're seeing this constant evolution in not only analytics like we talked on last night, but technology, architecture of these buildings, of these ballparks. And at least from a major league standpoint, there's the idea of a roof, retractable roofs on perhaps as many different stadiums as you can get. Well, what do you think about that? Some people think, man, great day for a ball game just feels a little weird saying that inside a bubble.
I'm a traditionalist.
Yeah.
Baseball was meant to be played outside.
Yeah.
The one thing that has gone from the ball game that I grew up on was twilight doubleheaders.
Yeah, that was the thing.
Those things are gone. The only time you will see a doubleheader now is if there's a rain out and they need to make it up.
Yep.
Players don't like it. I know the union doesn't want it because now these guys are playing 2 games in one day.
Yeah.
But you know what? It comes down to the fans. The fans are the guys that pay the salaries.
Yeah, they are.
You need to put people in the seats, and a day-night doubleheader would be ideal. I wouldn't mind. Forget the retractable roof. Maybe when they plan out the schedule, try and put them in the best possible climate.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the season.
Okay, so a Northeast team like the Mets or the Phillies or the Nationals, are you saying that they have a heavy road start?
Not all the time.
Okay.
Try and again, you're at the mercy of Mother
Yeah,
Nature. We can't
there's
hammer
not a
that
lot.
enough. You never know. You could start the Phillies down in Atlanta, but what's to say that it doesn't rain for 3 days in Atlanta?
Yeah.
The only way you can avoid that is to put them out west or put them in a dome stadium, but then those teams are already at a disadvantage opening up on a 6 or 7 game road trip at the beginning of the season.
That's what I think. Yeah, they and
roll the dice.
And you speak of rain. We talk about delays. I know the Portland Sea Dogs and the Reading Fightin' Phils recently, AA affiliated ball. Reading went up to Portland, 3 games all canceled because of rain. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday series gone. So now they've got to do double headers later on this season.
And in this case, not just rain, but snow.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, New York, Boston. Yeah, they had to cancel the one Phillies and Mets game earlier in the season because there was an entire sheet of snow on Citi Field. I mean, it really is insane, and its weather is so weird. I mean, we're broadcasters, not meteorologists. At least I don't know about you.
No.
Maybe on Blue Ridge you're doing that,
No.
but
no.
But it's one of those things where it's part of the broadcast knowledge. You have to kind of speculate on it, and it's just so weird because you can have one year be entirely different than the next.
Yeah.
What was it, 1 or 2 years ago? It was like 70 degrees on Christmas Day. And then, by contrast, then it was 39 degrees opening day for the Phillies on Thursday, April 5th. I mean, I think we've been more fortunate lately in terms of temperature. But, this rain is, and by the way, should let you know, they're calling for rain in the middle of the week as well. So there's that series with Sugar Land. Now that one would be much more difficult to figure out if you can't do a doubleheader, although they have an 11 a.m. game Thursday. So if Tuesday or Wednesday got rained out, I would think that would be the day it would fall on.
Well, but just like in Major League Baseball, usually the last game of the series, if they play in the afternoon, that's extra.
Yeah,
a little
bit
more
of wiggle room.
leeway as far as a team getting out of town and getting to their next destination. So
yeah,
it's just going to be a wait and see.
Yeah. In the meantime, real quick, just want to let you guys know this is Eric May to my left. I'm Andrew Mossbrooks, and we have this YouTube broadcast up. So if you have any questions or any concerns about the game, feel free to let us know, whether it be audio issues or anything of the sort, questions about the game. And if you're just now tuning in, I saw we have had a couple more viewers jump in. It's just a fireside chat right now. There is a rain delay that the Barnstormers and York Revolution have been in for about, we're getting towards 15, 20 minutes here, about 20 minutes now. Bottom of the second inning, scoreless. The Barnstormers up to bat here at Clipper Magazine Stadium, winners of 5 straight. A 6-3 record against the 4-5 York Revolution, who have dropped 5 of their last 6.
But the rain continues to fall, and again, the grounds crew continuing to drop bags of Diamond Dry. And
now, what's the
keep it
ruling
at a
on
minimum.
this? You have, isn't it an hour? That's the most it can be delayed, and then they have to make a decision? Am I wrong about that? They're not going to keep the fans here for 2 hours and then wait to say, all right, guys, we're back to the second inning.
Yeah, I unfortunately do not know the exact rules when it comes to that in Atlantic League Baseball, and whether that's different from the major leagues. I think the major leagues, they try and ride it out as long as they can because they want to get the games in.
Yeah.
I don't know if the rules are any different here in the Atlantic League, though.
I am going to. That's a text worthy of Joey Greer's behalf.
And Jay Gauze is under the impression that we're going to play because he's out.
Yeah, he's warming up.
Yeah,
well, you know what?
Tyler
He's trying
Clark.
to keep his arm warm, right? That's what he has to do.
Ross Peoples has emerged from.
I think we're going to play. Gauze is heading to the mound right now. Right? It looks like it.
Or he's going out to get a ruling here from Doug McFarling. Well, Doug McFarling just gave him the ball.
I think we're about to play. Yep, York outfielders are coming on. The Barnstormers are going to get their guys up to bat. Up next for them will be Joey Trdoslavich. And, well, if it's... Yeah, I think we're going to play ball. I think the rain delay has ceased over here, Eric.
Well, Ross emerged from the Barnstormers locker room.
And deleting
with
the
a
text.
jacket and a hot cup of coffee, so he's ready to go.
He bringing that coffee up here? Remember, this was a day game. We had to wake up early.
Do we place an order? How do we do this?
I mean, they're trying to think of what we can do about that. We have a food voucher still in here. I was hoping to split this for ice cream, but is this ice cream weather for you?
It's always ice cream weather. Yeah, it's not based on temperature.
All right. So you would eat ice cream in 40 degrees if you were outside a ball game.
Sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. You're a trooper.
Yeah.
I guess the broadcasting business has been such a grind on you that you know your food temperature ethics have just been thrown to the wayside.
My taste buds and my palate is not determined by the weather.
Yeah. But you have to admit, on a cold day, nice to have maybe a hot chocolate, hot cup of coffee, some hot tea. I'm a tea guy. This cup of Earl Grey.
Hot cup of coffee, even if it's 90 degrees out.
Really?
Coffee, yeah.
Now that's when I cut back a little bit. In the early morning, no, I'll drink it. 3 p.m. though, I mean, unless I'm waking up at 3 p.m., I don't get many of those days anymore.
I was going to say, you're really showing your
college roots.
Years. Yes.
I have 6 more days to talk about it, so then he'll just be complaining for years after that when the Bills come in. So we're about to play ball here. It's bottom of the second. Joey Trdoslavich is up. Are you ready? You're not too relaxed?
Yeah, we're ready to go.
Hey, we talked through that whole thing. I thought we were decently entertaining.
I was not sure what the agenda was and how we go about this.
You didn't give me any signals, so I just thought we could keep going. I thought we had enough content. Brought some interesting topics to the board.
See, I'm used to the TV stuff. We just throw it to commercials, and then we just put up a scroll across the screen that we're in a rain delay. But this is YouTube. This is different.
That's right.
This is different.
Different rules in the online world.
So here we go. Bottom of the second, Joey Trdoslavich to lead it off.
And I enjoy talking about those ticket sales and ballpark ideas. Fun stuff.
First pitch to Trdoslavich, and swing and a miss.
For the record, there is still some rain coming down, just so everybody would like to know, and you'll see a lot of empty seats right now. Still a lot of fans just watching from the concourse.
Rips that one foul in toward the Lancaster bullpen.
No
balls and 2 strikes.
7-1 win for the Barnstormers last night over the Revs. Trdoslavich was maybe one of the guys that would have liked to get a nice at-bat there. Didn't have his best game after ripping 2 homers in the home opener against York, so try to get back on track in this day game.
That one bounces up there. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Right in front of his right leg, almost hit him.
Trdoslavich at 250 on the season.
Struck out twice yesterday, hit into a fielder's choice. Also had a pop up in the infield to the shortstop.
Fouls that one off. But even so, that 1 strikeout, we mentioned, these guys last night really worked the York pitchers. There was very, very few. I think maybe 1 at bat where it was a quick at bat.
Yeah, Turdoslavich had a lot of good at-bats, just didn't get the result he was looking for.
Down low. 2-2 on Turdoslavich, leading off the bottom of the second inning in a scoreless ball game.
And here's a kind of situation now. You were rain delayed, no play for over 20 minutes. You'd like to just get right on the board, take it right at him, get Goss off his game. He tried to stay warm, so interesting to see how the pitchers will fare.
And Turdoslavich down on strikes. Third strikeout of the ball game for Jay Goss. And again, we mentioned it right before the rain delay. Jose Tabata, who got hit by a pitch on the wrist, has actually been removed from the ball game. Ruby Silva will move from second base. He is now in left field, and Omar Obergon is now the second baseman for the York Revolution. So one down, here's Ryan Castile. Castile, the designated hitter this afternoon after being behind the plate last night and starting the scoring for the Barnstormers with a home run in the second inning.
Just want to point out, Omar Obergon, who's now, as you mentioned, replacing Tabata in left field, comes from the Atlanta Braves organization where he was drafted out of. Spent some time in the minors there.
Off the end of the bat, fouled toward the Lancaster dugout. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Ryan Castile. And the rain has slowed up considerably, still falling lightly.
Well, we'll wait for this one.
Ground ball right side. That's going to find the hole. A base hit into right field for Ryan Castile. First hit of the ball game for the Barnstormers. And Castile, a 1-out base runner for Vladimir Frias.
Yeah, the forecast was light rain, kind of to the duration. I hate to say it for the fans here. This might. There's a legit possibility this might just be light rain the rest of the way. They might just play through it. Keep sanding the field as much as you can. Frias up for this at-bat. You mentioned runner on after Castile was able to get the first hit of the game for Lancaster.
And a good start for Frias on the season, hitting .357. First pitch is wide for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Frias has scored a run in 7 of the 8 games that he has played. Right now with a 4-game hitting streak.
5 and 15 over that time. This series 3 for 7. Couple of stolen bags after last night.
1 ball, 1 strike on Frias. No score. Lancaster batting in the bottom of the second inning.
Well, some fans are returning to their seats now.
And the Barnstormer ushers doing their best to
I was
wipe
about
off
to
all
say.
the seats. Fouled back to the screen.
They're good. They take good care of the fans here.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Vladimir Frias. Ryan Castile at first base with 1 out. Gauze with a look at Castile. And that one fouled off.
And we mentioned Jay Gauze, again, on the other side of this rain delay coming out. He seems to be pitching all right. And that's what we're going to look for in the top of the third when Brooks Hall takes the mound again. To see what did, because I didn't see him tossing outside. I saw Gauze.
He
was.
was? Yeah, right. He followed Ross Peoples out of the locker room and was tossing the ball down in the Lancaster bullpen.
Okay.
The 1-2. Up high, 2 balls, 2 strikes on Vladimir Frias.
See a lot of pitchers go for that, right? That fastball high and up. Fools the batter right in the eye. And York, they need good pitching in this series finale.
Just missing the outside corner, so the count will go full 3-2 to Vladimir Frias.
And good pitching starts with cooling this offense down. Again, 5-game win streak for the Barnstormers, 42 runs in that time. Get these guys on base. They're dangerous. A lot of those runs not coming from home runs. We saw a 3-run shot from Galen, but these guys just get around the bags.
Ooh, Castile having to dive back in. He's got a decent lead down there at first base.
Yeah.
And with the rain falling, Dirk's not going to have much give. It, in fact,
I was wondering
it's gonna be a little bit muddy.
That's what I was thinking too. And they're a little bit of mud around second base, it looks like.
So again, Castile, a couple of strides off of first.
So this is, they're going to call time here. This is not what you would consider steel base friendly weather, right?
Yeah, no doubt when the base runners get on, they're going to check their footing, see what kind of start they can get.
Yeah, get a good plan on.
Yep.
I think same thing for the pitcher, too. Plant that front foot.
3-2 pitch, and Frias fouls it straight back. And we saw Gauze before that last pitch trying to clear off his spikes because they start to get clogged with the dirt on the mound, despite the best efforts of the ground crew to try and keep it as safe as possible. Again, the 3-2, and a strike three called, throw down to second.
Got him.
And they got him on the tag. A strikeout, throw him out, double play. So nothing across for the Barnstormers. Bases left empty at the end of 2. York nothing, Lancaster nothing on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Enjoy a weeknight with the Barnstormers and leave with your wallet largely intact. Come on out on Munchie Mondays for all-you-can-eat nachos, dogs, fries, popcorn, and soda for 2 hours. Or how about Koozie Tuesdays, where fans of legal age can enjoy $2 domestic drafts from 6:30 to 8. Bring your dog on Wiener Wednesdays and enjoy delicious dollar dogs as well. Or on Thrifty Thursday, popcorn is just $1, sodas are $2, and lawn seats are only $3. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
Okay, John, shelves are stocked.
So are the new Fast Play games from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Just pick your game, get your ticket, and see if you've won.
Like Word Search, with top prizes of 20 grand.
Yep, winning's never been faster.
Not faster than me clearing these shelves.
Dude, I hope you're even faster at restocking.
Yeah.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Eric May, Andrew Mossbrooks with you at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Final game of this 3-game series. Barnstormers looking for a sweep. And you know, Clipper Magazine Stadium's Bobby Rahal Lexus suite level is perfect for a business function or personal celebration. Great for entertaining clients, rewarding employees, networking, or celebrating birthdays and anniversaries. Make it a function here to remember. Contact the Barnstormers for suite availability here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Go to LancasterBarnstormers.com for more information.
And we go to the top of the third, and now an opportunity for Brooks Hall to come back out. An 18 and 19 pitch first and second inning respectively, so maybe you'd like to get that number down a little bit. Talk about him probably looking at around an 85 pitch game today. However many innings that takes him, we remain to see, but you'd like to think he's going to try and lower that count, and we'll see if he still has that command that he had established, especially on his two-seamer in the first inning. Had it a little bit in the second inning and then wavered a bit towards the end of that second inning. And, of course, a rain delay, so first time pitching in about 45 minutes for him.
Well, it appears that it's gotten brighter here in the last couple of minutes, so hopefully that's a good sign.
Because of the lights?
Oh, yeah, they did. They did turn the lights on.
The light bulb went on in your head and you realize that?
I'm thinking it was the sun.
I think we've got sun here.
Oh.
Oh,
well.
Had to mention it. I shouldn't have even said anything. Nobody on the broadcast would have noticed that.
Ball and no strikes to Tyler Clark leading off the top of the third. He lifts that one foul out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Clark behind the plate catching this afternoon. He was the DH last night, went 1 for 3. 1 for 4 in the series as he was 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter on Friday night.
That's an accomplishment that he got a hit last night. They only had 4 across the whole game. Although you mentioned that batting average not looking too pretty.
Strike called. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Tyler Clark. Barnstormer from a season ago. Originally signed by the Arizona Diamondbacks as an undrafted free agent in 2014. Did make it as high as AAA. And Clark down on strikes. Strikeout number 5 on the afternoon for Brooks Hall.
Maybe that answers my question if he's still got it. Looking good.
1 down here in the third, and top of the order, Jared Mitchell. Mitchell, one of Brooks Hall's 5 strikeout victims. And his first pitch over for a strike, 0-1.
First pitch strike has been a really good thing for Hall here so far through 2 1/3. I notice almost every batter he's faced, it's a first pitch strike. Really, the only one I think that went bad was to Tabata, right? Or to Dent, excuse me.
Yeah.
That one pitch over his head after he hit Tabata. In terms of first pitch strikes, now he's ahead of the count again, 0-2. He's ahead of a lot of his batters, and that puts the Revs in an uncomfortable situation. You have to think there's also a bit of confidence lacking on this team right now because you've been losing so many games, and in the 2 games set thus far in Lancaster, losing badly. You're getting beat tough.
And we go back to last night. Nate Reed also got ahead in the count. Anytime you can get ahead in the count as a pitcher, puts you in a much better position. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That one in the dirt.
He's wondering if there's a little bit of mud. Maybe Brooks trying to intentionally throw the ball in the mud, splash him a little bit.
1 down here in the third. Pitch to Mitchell, up and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So we'll see how this rain delay has affected Brooks Hall.
Yeah, first batter didn't look too bad, and this one good, but, I think sometimes when you strike out so many batters, you get into a groove where you almost want to nibble a little bit and try and catch guys. I almost think that's what he's doing in this at-bat. I mean, that's a guess at best, but, guys that I think every pitcher likes to say they can strike out a bunch of guys, but when you do that, sometimes you're trying to locate just that perfect pitch instead of just going right to the batter. Started out this count 0-2, now full count, 3 straight out of the zone.
3-2 pitch, and a strike 3 called. Mitchell down on strikes.
And a good recovery there. Now 6 strikeouts for Brooks Hall through 2 2/3.
Well, if he's on a pitch count, he might not last too long. He's ringing up all these strikes.
He is. I don't know if you want to, do you take the good with the bad in this case? Travis Witherspoon was another one of his victims. He struck out back-to-back batters, both Mitchell and Witherspoon, in the first inning, excuse me.
So 2 down, bases empty, and the first pitch to Witherspoon over for a strike. I'm sure this is something that Ross Peoples will have in discussion with Hall in between innings just to make sure he's feeling all right. Fouled back to the screen.
Another 0-2 count. We talk about first pitch strikes. I want to know how many batters he's put behind 0-2.
Fortunately, I'm just filling in the blocks.
Yeah, no, I won't have that stat for you either. I'm counting pitches total, but call time.
Giving it a shot again?
Yeah. So far, so good. The rain delay gave me a chance to kind of double-check my numbers here. I think I'm all right so far.
0-2 pitch. A little bit upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Travis Witherspoon. Bases empty, 2 outs here in the top of the third inning of a scoreless ball game. Hall, the ask for the call at first.
Ooh.
Did not go.
I do think he held up on that one.
Yes. It never hurts to ask.
You have to be such a good umpire in this league with no replay. Just know it.
Ooh.
Oh.
That one almost got Witherspoon, and
Almost, right? Didn't hit him.
Brooks Hall saw what happened, and he was not happy with the result of that pitch.
Well,
and you got to wonder, again, you've hit a batter already. You've had rain. Now you're concerned about your footing.
Yeah. And that is, I mean, seriously, as a pitcher, does your front foot slip a little bit? And that pitch comes off. That one's fouled away, so it's a full count remaining. 7th pitch of the at-bat is coming up next to Travis Witherspoon. 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd inning. And back-to-back strikeouts so far. But, yes, I agree with you 100%. I was about to say for Travis Witherspoon, I chuckled a little bit because maybe if you were a little sluggish after that rain delay, that'll wake you up.
Yeah, and then you got to step back in the box.
Yeah.
3-2 pitch and a strike 3 called on the outside corner.
Look out the side.
Brooks Hall with yet another strikeout. That is 7 in the ball game for Hall. We are through 2.5 innings. York and Lancaster scoreless on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Learn from the pros right here in Lancaster. The Lancaster Barnstormers are offering 2 3-day-long youth clinics this summer with instruction on pitching, hitting, fielding, and base running. Each session, led by veteran professional players, will last from 9 until noon with lunch to follow. Choose from June 19th to 21st or July 24th to 26th. So learn what it takes to succeed on the field and off. Call the Barnstormers office at 717-509-HITS or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. Space is limited. Act now.
Introducing the all-new Lexus RX 350L, designed for room. Room for a power-folding 3rd row. Room for up to 7.
Yeah, we should do today.
And room for the unexpected. The 3-row RXL. It's the RX with room for more. Experience the innovative RXL and RXL hybrid. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
RX 450HL arriving spring 2018.
Bottom third of the lineup for the Barnstormers here in the home 3rd inning. Anderson De La Rosa, Keenan Walker, Carlos Garcia against Jay Gauze. Scoreless ball game on this now damp Sunday afternoon. Had a rain delay of what, 30 minutes or so?
It was, I think, a little under, maybe 20, 25. 25. We'll be safe. I don't know if we have an official time. Me too. Well, I round by 5s, so it's 25. Right before we went to commercial break, we were talking about Brooks Hall and, 7 strikeouts. That's pretty impressive through 3 innings, but a little concerned about his pitch count. Now his number's 18, 19, and then another 18 pitch innings. So it's, getting up there a little bit. 55 through 3.
Anderson De La Rosa, his first at bat of the afternoon. Looks at a strike, no balls and 1 strike. De La Rosa hitting at 143. A home run and a run batted in. Actually hit the first home run of the season for the Barnstormers. Last Sunday. Fouled straight back.
Right at us.
Yeah.
Again, back-to-back games like that.
1 for 4 in the series for De La Rosa. Had a double Friday night. Check swing in the appeal. Alejandro said he did not go. One ball, 2 strikes to De La Rosa. He is down on strikes. Both pitchers this afternoon just
strikeout machines.
Yeah, just fooling everybody.
Yeah, and for De La Rosa, unfortunate because he has continued to struggle a little bit. Really not hitting well against either lefties or righties right now. Just batting 125 against right-handers.
So with one down in the inning, brings up Keenan Walker, the left fielder. Walker hitting .308.
He also had a double last night in the 8th inning. Struck out.
Strike. One for 4 Friday night. Or I'm sorry, he was a late replacement. It was 0 for 1. And then 2 for 4 last night.
I was wondering with all these strikeouts, I mean, is this going to, how long can either pitcher go? That's the thing, as a pitcher, you get an opportunity to strike guys out, and you love getting to do that, but typically, when you're playing guys, they're going to battle you. You're not just going to go throw 3 pitches and get the out. I mean, a lot of those are long at-bats.
2-1 pitch swung on and missed by Walker. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
We've already seen a couple of 7 pitch at-bats, an 8, a 9. I can say that for now because I am still counting. Once I lose count, I'll stop.
2-2, grounded to first. Burgess will back up. Flip to Gauze covering. And there are 2 down. Almost caught Burgess on that in-between hop.
Yeah.
He had to back up on it.
Well, and you have to because with the way the rain, it looks like for the most part has stopped. But when it's coming down like that, sometimes does the ball become almost dead in the dirt when it goes back to you? Or certainly it's not going to have the hop it would normally if there's no rain.
Or it might just skip on you.
Yeah. So you have to, and you can see you really tried to guard that over at first.
So 2 down in the inning for Carlos Garcia, Barnstormer third baseman.
I give credit to Gauze because he has been a little bit more efficient with his pitches, 12 and 15 through 2 innings. And he's still been getting the strikeouts.
Garcia on the season hitting .455.
And, of course, did not get any action last night, did Garcia?
Over for a strike, 1 ball, 1 strike to Garcia. Yeah, actually had 5 hits in his first 7 at-bats of the season, so a very solid start for Garcia. Tyler Bortnick getting the afternoon off at third base. Strike 2 called. Garcia trying to hold up on it, but it was a strike in the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You see some of these averages early in the season's comical sometimes. Guys batting 500, 550. I mean, but then you wonder in this league, some of those guys keep that, or at least around 400.
Jammed him and he grounds it to first. Burgess, he'll take this one unassisted. And Jay Gauze works a perfect third inning. So we are through 3 here in Lancaster. It's York nothing, Lancaster nothing on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Like craft beers, local wines? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, all new for 2018 is the Broken Bat deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat will feature more than 20 local craft breweries and product from 2 local wineries. If something with a little more kick is your adult beverage of choice, a local distillery is part of the Broken Bat as well. Food will be sold off a pub-style menu, so get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
AMT Concerts presents Rock at the Park Festival, Saturday, July 21st, featuring sets from Fuel, Eve 6, Sister Hazel, Long Beach Dub All-Stars, basketball, and more. Rock at the Park, Saturday, July 21st at Clipper Magazine Stadium, Lancaster. Tickets on sale now at rockatthepark.com.
For the Revs here in the fourth inning, Zach Wilson, Michael Burgess, Luis Cruz against Brooke Hall, who has 7 strikeouts through 3 innings.
And Zach Wilson coming up, he was not one of the strikeout victims, actually had a hit in the first inning, and he's a guy who, for the Revolution, I guess one of the few bright spots, at least over the last few games, is he is among the league leaders for the Atlantic League in walks. And so him with actually 7 walks. Jared Mitchell and Ryan Dent not far behind him at 6. Wilson tied for second in the league in walks. And so when it comes to these strikeouts at bat, and once again, another first pitch strike coming over from Brooks Hall. But when it comes to these at-bats where you're looking for a strikeout and you're nibbling a little bit, this is the kind of guy that might actually outweight you and get that walk.
Has shown a good eye, but Brooks Hall quickly in front of Wilson. No balls and 2 strikes. Each team with 1 hit.
It's a pitcher's duel.
Yeah.
Do you like those, or do you like more offense?
I tell you, there's nothing better when you see 2 aces really going at it.
Yeah.
In fact, I remember
story time.
The strike 3 called is Wilson down on strikes. I was actually down, again, this is kind of dating myself, at the Vet.
Oh, okay.
The night before the baseball players strike. Mets and Phillies, and I saw Dwight Gooden against Steve Carlton.
Hey, Steve Carlton. What a name.
And what a pitcher's duel
Yeah.
that was.
How'd that game go?
Ended up being 2-1.
Yeah, I can believe it. What happened yesterday? Man, there was a pitcher's duel between, who were the Oakland A's playing? It was 0.
Oakland and Baltimore.
When did that game end? I saw it was in the 12th inning, 0-0.
Walk-off home run, Chris Davis.
Really? What inning? 12th?
12th.
12th, man.
Yep.
Now, was that a pitcher's duel, or is that just 2 bad teams that can't?
I didn't see the exact line score as Burgess takes a ball, 1 ball, 1 strike. But they were just, I just happened to see it. There was a number of walk-off wins yesterday in the major leagues.
Yeah.
1-1 pitch to Burgess, and that foul ball goes off the mask of De La Rosa, so he's taken 2 off of the face mask and 1 off of the shin.
I should mention, even though I never got to see the Vet, sorry to go back to this, but I actually...
You're really not missing much.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's what I was told. My dad, the dreaded, what was it, the 700 level?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a game program, though, from the very last game at the Vet, Phillies and Braves, September 29th, 2003. Okay. So I think that's kind of cool. Didn't use the scorecard or anything, so...
I had an opportunity to be at the last game at Baltimore's Memorial Stadium.
Wow,
against
really?
The Tigers. 1-2 to Burgess, and he goes after one up in the strike zone. He pops it up. De La Rosa in foul territory, circles under and makes the catch. So 2 down in the inning, and this will bring up Luis Cruz. Scoreless ball game here in the top of the 4th. Neither team able to find any offense so far in the early going.
I keep wanting to go back to this now because I'm thinking about what you were saying about the Vet, but you said you were a traditionalist during the rainouts. So do you not like the new ballparks, though? Is there nothing like the classics? You know, Baltimore over Camden Yards?
Started this business back in 1929 because doing things the right way is just the Williams way. Get the right tires right now at jackwilliams.com.
Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu.
Promotion, the Lancaster Barnstormers are at it once again. It's Wing Wednesday. All you can eat wings and soda and a discounted beer special for those 21 and older from 6:30 to 8 o'clock in the Lexus LC Suite, presented by Fat Pigs. And yes, admission includes your game ticket. For more information or to get your tickets, visit LancasterBarnstormers.com. Top of the order for the Barnstormers here in the fourth, Sanford, Noel, and Galen against Jay Gause. Both pitchers in control here through the first 3+ innings. Sanford fouling off the first pitch, 0-1.
So do we want to get back to that comment about the ballparks? I don't want to take away from the game too much.
All right, so suppose the question again being
So I want to know, you're a traditionalist, so do you like the old school ballparks? You know, Vet, the old Yankee Stadium, Baltimore's old one versus Camden Yards. What do you think of that?
Ball one to Sanford, 1-1. No, I like Camden Yards because for one, it's still grass.
Yeah, true.
I like the setup, but the Vet, Riverfront, Three Rivers, they were all kind of cookie-cutter stadiums. As Sanford lifts that one into center, easy play for Witherspoon. And Sanford is out number 1. Yeah, I mean, City Field up in New York. Now, and the one thing I never did get a chance to do was visit Old Yankee Stadium. I would have loved to seen that. Would love to get to Fenway someday. Love to get to Wrigley.
That's one of my new goals now. Is just I've went to so many Phillies games over the last few years, and it's almost part of the baseball fan culture to just go to as many ballparks as you can. I don't know that that's a big thing as much in hockey or football or basketball. I think there's just something unique about every ballpark. Even in the minor leagues, Clipper Magazine Stadium is a beautiful park.
Well, think about it. When you're talking football and hockey, you can't really do anything as far as dimensions, where you can change things around with a baseball stadium.
I think baseball is even more creative with their concourse and some of the other things that you have to look at. But absolutely right, some of those places, you get there and you look at a field and you just go, man, this is way different. Coors Field in Colorado, I've heard that all the time from – you go to a hitter-friendly park like CBP in Philadelphia, and then you see that place, and you're like, whoa. My friends went to that trip before.
Rico Noel in the hole, no balls and 2 strikes. Grounded out to short his first time up.
Somebody's got to get a hit here. Both teams with just 1. And what we've talked about is already a pitcher's duel.
And he grounds that one foul. Well, the one thing that you're seeing with these new stadiums, again, going back to the Three Rivers, the Riverfront, the Vet, those circular stadiums where they would hold 70,000, they've now cut it down. It's been more fan-friendly, and you're going to get 35 to 40,000.
And that's still not working, as we talked about with attendance issues too, right? I mean,
0-2 pitch down and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Rico Noel. 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Scoreless ball game between the Revs and the Barnstormers.
I mean, sometimes I just wonder if it has to do with like prices for some of these places. I mean, people just don't want to pay what they used to for sporting events.
That one's upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, when you factor in the drive down, cost for parking, cost for tickets, cost for concessions,
it adds up.
Yeah.
No, I'm on that boat with you.
2-2 pitch.
Close.
Not missed by much. Count will go full on Rico Noel at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Second time this afternoon that Jay Gause has gone to a full count.
25-year-old right-hander just trying to reestablish himself in his career.
And he'll lose him. Rico Noel will draw the walk.
And you really think about it, I mean, this is tough. This guy's played, look at it this way, he's played 3 seasons, and his rookie year was 2014. I mean, that's tough, You
got to tip your cap.
Absolutely.
Determination to get back into competitive baseball and still give himself a shot to try and get that opportunity to move on to the next level.
Yeah.
So Noel, a 1-out base runner for Blake Galen.
Still young enough that could happen, too.
Galen went down on strikes looking his first time up, and Gauze starts him with a strike.
And Blake Galen, a dangerous player, not just because of the 3-run homer last night, also reaching safely in all 9 games, getting on base 21 times so far this season. Batting .333, he has been terrific.
A pretty good move to first base by Gauze.
Well,
back safely.
Sanford flew out to left, but then you have Rico Noel on base now at first, and he can be just as dangerous. A lot of speed.
He has stolen 6 bases in 7 attempts.
Had one last night, too.
He's out there trying to clear the track to give himself some better footing. And the fact that there has not been any offense here this afternoon, is this a time that maybe Rico Noel will try and put something in motion? There he goes. Oh, he stopped. Oh, the pitch got away from Clark. And Rico Noel will go on to second base.
And then Clark slipped. That rain still showing some effect on the grass there, I think. Right foot getting caught. Now, is that going to be counted as a stolen base, or is that just a wild pitch?
Well, that's exactly what I was wondering, because he stopped about a third of the way down the line. And then once he saw that the pitch had gone away from Clark, then he advanced on to second base.
If Clark catches that ball, that's probably an out. He probably is going to get him at either first or second. They might run him down.
I would think that would have to go down as a wild pitch.
That's what I'm good. Yeah, I'll score you that. I agree with that.
So Noel now in scoring position. 1 ball, 1 strike on Blake Galen.
And now this is where Galen wants to just put the ball into play. We talk about that so much. And it hasn't happened a lot tonight. Almost.
Rico Noel trying to draw a throw, but problem is Dent wanted to go and cover second base. He lost his footing.
Yeah, I didn't see that a little bit on the stream there. You folks might not have caught that, but Noel dancing a little bit around the middle bag. And he does it again. So another look back from Gauze. He's trying to keep his runner on.
Well, we saw it last night with the continual throws over to the bag when Sanford was on.
Yep, Sanford and Severino. There it is again, just dancing back and forth. Now look at that. Now, do you see that? Galen called time.
Did not get it.
Did not get it. And we don't see that a lot now, do we?
Well, it's the downside to your base runner moving around like that. Now that could be a distraction for the batter.
That's what I'm thinking, too. And I think that might have been why Galen called time.
Was not granted a timeout from home plate umpire Doug McFarling. So now the count is at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rico Noel at second base, who drew a walk, advanced to second on a wild pitch. There is 1 down. Gauze with a long look in at home. The 2-2. Grounds this one up to first. Burgess yet another play. We'll take that one unassisted.
Yep.
Rico Noel advances over to third.
So at least
there are 2 out in the inning.
You at least put the ball into play there. I mean, now you're 2 outs though, so you have to get something here with Turdoslavich up. Struck out in his first at bat, which came back in the second inning on a 2-2 pitch. Turdoslavich, I mean, he can work the count. You know, he did that last night too. We talked about it. Went 0 for 4 last night, but a couple of long at bats.
So the best scoring opportunity of the afternoon for either team, and Turdoslavich swung on and missed. No balls and a strike.
And you have to take advantage of that. You mentioned this, the best scoring opportunity we've saw so far. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning, and maybe you wonder just how many can you get. Now Noel's really trying to just mess with him. He danced about a quarter of the way down from third to home. Almost peeking in on your screen there.
On the season, Turdoslavich 2 for 10 with runners in scoring position. And behind in the count, no balls and 2 strikes.
Yep, so Noel will be off and running here with 2 outs. Bottom of the 4th.
So now Turdoslavich has to be defensive.
And he can do that. He has that ability and a skill set.
The 0-2 down, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And this is where, a professional at-bat is needed, where you kind of have to look at these pitches, see, okay, that one's coming out of the zone, that one's going to dip. All right, well, this one might not. I don't think I'm going to get good contact. Just try and foul it off. Just keep battling.
1-2. Turdosovich lifts it into left center field. Silva going back is there to make the catch, and that'll end the inning. So the Barnstormers threaten in the fourth, but Rico Noel stranded at third base at the end of 4 innings here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. York nothing, Lancaster nothing on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com, too. And you can get them right on your phone, thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Eric May, Andrew Mossbrooks with you at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Final game of this 3-game series. Lancaster looking for that 3-game sweep. Right now, scoreless ball game, and it has been all the pitching here this afternoon.
Yeah, and the better one's definitely going to belong to Brooks Hall. His pitch count's a little higher, but he was more efficient with his pitches in the 4th inning. Didn't get a strikeout in there, but he was able to just work 9 pitches, 7 strikes over the plate, and an 8 strikeout. Actually did get 1 last inning, so 8 strikeouts for Brooks Hall. He has been dominant right now through 4.
Each team has picked up just 1 hit. York has left 2 runners on base. Lancaster just 1.
Outside to Silva. At this point of the game, though, because we talk about, getting into the 5th inning, and there's so much talk on pitch economy nowadays in baseball, I think you almost maybe...
Oh, Silva with a drive to center field. Sanford on the run going back. It's over his head. Hits the base of the wall. Silva on a turn at second. He is on his way to third. It is going to be a leadoff triple for Ruby Silva.
Well, just as I was saying that, you want to maybe try. I was just going to say with pitch economy, maybe not look to strike out guys and just kind of throw at them and maybe pitch to contact, but then you do that and sometimes it costs you. And right there out in center field, you could see it. Sanford was kind of playing shallow or mid. That one was deep right back to the wall. Now the Barnstormers, this will be the first chance. We talked about the last half. Lancaster had the biggest threatening opportunity. Now I'd say York is in that position with a runner on third and no outs.
First triple of the season for Ruby Silva. Infield in.
And here's Omar Obregon, who is in the lineup after just being brought onto the Barnstormers. He was signed today, literally today, and then there was a hit by pitch to Tabata, so Obregon is in, and this is his first at-bat with the Revolution.
And we have no information on him whatsoever.
Well, he was with the Atlanta organization. That's it.
Oh, well, that's right. I guess you have access. Yes.
Somewhat, yes.
He's quickly in the hole. No balls and 2 strikes. Well, if there's a time that Brooks Hall would like a strikeout, this would be the time.
I agree. 1 and 2. Yeah, I just said that you don't want to do that, but now you kind of feel like you need to strike guys out.
All 4 infielders in on the grass. 1-2 pitch. Obregon lifts it foul. So the Revs with their best scoring opportunity so far in the ball game after the leadoff triple from Silva, excuse me. Popped up in the infield, Rico Noel. He'll make the catch, and that's a big first out for Brooks Hall.
Yeah, definitely a good one. If you're going to put the ball into play for the Barnstormers, the goal is to put it in play around that infield. Honestly, even a ground out, I mean, you have to be careful where are you grounding out to. If you're grounding out to first, they're probably scoring that run. You get up the third baseline or back to the pitcher, maybe you can do something here, but it's the pitch selection is going to be very important right now for Hall, as we are in the top of the fifth inning and still no score, just 2 hits, and there's going to be an intentional walk made to Dent, and that'll bring up Tyler Clark, so maybe they try to turn 2 here.
Well, that, and I just think there's the respect as far as Dent is concerned, even though he was coming into the ball game hitting 182. This guy's too good of a player. And yeah, you're going to play the numbers game and hope to get Tyler Clark to ground into an inning-ending double play.
Yeah.
So now Rev runners at the corners. Silva at third, Dent at first with 1 down. Tyler Clark 0 for 1 on the afternoon. He struck out his first time up.
Don't forget Tyler Clark, a former Lancaster Barnstormer, 52 games with the club last year.
Hall starts Clark with a strike, no balls and 1 strike. Clark runs pretty well, though. Last year in Lancaster, stole 5 bases in 7 attempts, so he can get down the line. But again, Brooks Hall is going to make sure that Ryan Dent knows that he has his eye on him, doesn't want him to get too big of a lead. Give Lancaster a better opportunity to possibly turn 2. Pitch misses wide, 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, one of the things that I was sent as a quote from Barnstormers pitcher Tommy Shirley, that the biggest thing for starters to worry about after rain delays is losing their velocity. And the pitch is going a little slower, and I wonder if we're seeing that a bit here.
Strike on the inside corner.
That's a fastball at 90 miles an hour. And you know what? Is it that, or is it maybe a part of the fact that he's in the 5th inning? This guy, Hall's fastball usually hovers around 92, 95. Right there, it came in at 90. So maybe that's a part of it. Maybe the velocity is dipped down a little bit.
Yeah, and you kind of touched on it too, that you're starting to get warmed up, and then you got to sit for a half an hour.
Yeah.
So
pitchers do not like that.
You can obviously see that point.
So I
keep thinking about the footing, though.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. You know what? I'm going to go back to the stadium thing. I wonder if pitchers like indoor stadiums. I don't know. Never have to worry about that, right?
No.
Rain delays are far and few between.
2 balls, 2 strikes, just missing the inside corner. So the count will go full to to Tyler Clark at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ruby Silva at third base, Ryan Dent at first with 1 out in this scoreless ball game in the top of the 5th inning.
Important pitch here.
Got him. Took a little off. And Brooks Hall comes up with strikeout number 8 in a huge situation.
And again, the slider. 3 or 4 of these strikeouts at least have come from that. That pitch is still working. Exit velocity, or the velocity may have dipped down a bit, but he's commanding that one. And now you got 2 outs with runners on the corners. That's a big help. And Jared Mitchell, a guy who's already struck out twice, is up.
So Hall will look to get out of the damage, or potential damage here in the 5th, and he starts Mitchell with a strike. No balls, 1 strike.
Barnstormers pitching had a combined 10 strikeouts last night. Brooks Hall has 9 right now.
Woo.
Man, yeah.
The 0-1. Got that one over.
I think the same that you just expressed is being said right now by the Revolution batters. They are struggling to pick up on his stuff. And now 0-2, we'll see if he goes to that slider again. Look for that 83, 84 mile an hour, maybe 85 even.
Well, and this is just a testament as to his control.
Yeah.
I mean, he has the confidence in throwing certain pitches in certain situations, and that one bouncing away, but
no one moves.
Not enough for Silva to try and advance home, as
and
Mitchell had to dance out of the way.
I wonder if Mark Mason's a little disappointed about that. They didn't at least get a guy up to second base. Nobody was ready for that. I mean, I don't know what you think, but I think there was a chance at least for second. Probably not home. So we're not. Do we score that as a wild pitch? Or are we just calling that a ball?
I think it's just a ball.
That's what I will go with. So 1-2?
Yep.
All right.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Jared Mitchell. Silva remains at third, Dent at first. The 1-2 pitch, and it's grounded foul. So depending on what happens with this at bat, if Hull is able to get out of the inning, then it is a questionable call. Should Silva maybe have attempted to come home on that pitch?
Yeah, there's a couple of questions you could ask that. I would also be asking after this inning, is Hull's day over?
I don't see anybody in the bullpen, but that's not to say that they're not warming up underneath.
Yeah.
Check swing, ground ball, but it's going to go foul.
We don't take into accountability all the foul balls that are being hit, so those are increasing your pitch counts, and hasn't been a terrible inning in terms of that.
So the count still remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jared Mitchell. Hall trying to get out of the inning unscathed. The 1-2 inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, it's raining out, but there's still a lot of kids over in the playland, if you will. Over here, we got the nice slide, the merry-go-round. Kids are still going up and down, so parents didn't need to leave the game yet.
Yeah, I guess there is still a light rain falling.
Wondering how many people in the lawn area we're going to see next week.
Nice block by De La Rosa.
Yeah, that was good. Another full count.
Because if that pitch gets by De La Rosa, now it comes to the backstop.
Yep.
That's when Silva would come home. I think what happened on that last pitch, because it kind of went off to the side, maybe Silva couldn't judge just how far it got away from De La Rosa, that he didn't want to take that chance. Because the last thing you want to do is be thrown out at the plate when you've got a potential rally going.
I agree with that, but what about Ryan Dennett first? He could have made that.
Well,
I think.
3-2 pitch. There's a shot into right field. That's going to fall for a base hit. Galen will get the ball in. Dent advances to third. It's an RBI single for Jared Mitchell on a 1-0 Revs lead.
Well, in the Barnstormers case, I bet they're happy that Dent did not go to second, or else that might have brought home 2. But we mentioned bottom of the 5th here, and the first run comes across the plate. It belongs to the Revs, who are trying to get a win and salvage this series before taking the trip down to Southern Maryland. And by the way, I'll have that score updated for you as Ross Peoples comes out.
That's the 3rd run batted in on the season for Mitchell. And we do have, I see, activity now in the Lancaster bullpen.
Yep.
Garrett Granite's a right-hander throwing for the Barnstormers. So the Revs get the first run of the ball game on an RBI single from Jared Mitchell. And Hall is remaining in the ball game. So 2 hits in the inning for the Revs, and they still have things going first and third. With 2 outs, Travis Witherspoon steps to the plate. 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts.
Garrett Granitz is up warming for the Barnstormers. Right-handed sidearm guy, so this will be his 5th game if he gets in. So I mean,
sidearm. He looks like a submariner from the way he's tossing in the bullpen. First pitch to Witherspoon.
Yeah.
Starts him with a strike. Nothing in one.
He's cutting that hand down to he's feeling the dirt on his knuckles as he's throwing that one. Can you think of tries to get a guy dancing at first, does Hall. Can you think of an old school pitcher who threw like that and had a lot of success?
Dan Quisenberry. Okay, again, probably somebody before your time.
Who?
Yeah. Swung on and missed. No balls and 2 strikes. He was the closer for the Kansas City Royals back in the early 80s. Early, mid-80s. Can't really think of anybody in the major league level now
that throws like that. I don't know anybody amazingly gifted like that. I mean, I think Pat Neshek with the Phillies had a little bit of time with the Colorado Rockies last year. And he's a sidearm thrower. Holby Milner for the Phillies, but just recently was optioned to AAA about 10 days ago.
0-2 pitch, grounded softly to third. Garcia, no handle on it, and I think that ball started to slip out of his grip. Ryan Dent will come in to score. It's now 2-0 Revs.
They're going to call that an infield hit?
Yep, I would think.
Yeah. And now you're getting guys on that were struggling early. You know, Travis Witherspoon, Jared Mitchell, both of which get hits. And you know what they say, third time around, that's the hardest part usually for the pitchers because the batters are catching up to some of those things and those tendencies that Brooks Hall was throwing, and we're kind of seeing that right now. He's laboring a bit through this 5th inning. I have to think with Granite's up, warming up, this might be it for him.
Yeah, I would agree. Zach Wilson takes a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Wilson 1 for 2. Rev runners at first and second with 2 outs and 2 runs across for a 2-0 lead. One ball, 1 strike. Jared Mitchell at second, Travis Witherspoon at first.
7th batter of this inning. Brooks Hall is facing most by any pitcher so far in the game.
Ball in the dirt. It's now 2-1. Witherspoon will be credited with a run batted in, his 4th of the season.
I got to give a lot of credit here, and I think we mentioned it a little bit, but Anderson De La Rosa behind the plate has done a tremendous job of tracking some of these pitches, especially in this inning. There's been a couple that have been out there. Doing a good job of guarding and making sure a whole lot doesn't happen.
Pitch lifted into shallow center field. Long run for Sanford. And he will come in and slide to make the catch and end the inning. But the Revs put up 2. They do it on 3 hits. No errors, 2 runners left on base. Barnstormers batting in the home half of the 5th. It's 2-0 York on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
We can't help but always want more, especially on the road. More horsepower, heightened handling, elevated design. Get more out of your drive with a Lexus IS. Bold styling, track-tuned handling, available 311 horsepower. Experience the exhilaration of the IS 350 and IS 300. Available in F-Sport and all-wheel drive. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Enjoy weekends with the Barnstormers all season long. Every Friday evening home game will feature a different giveaway ranging from t-shirts to beach towels to backpacks. On Saturdays, enjoy the best entertainment doubleheader there is with Barnstormers baseball followed by fireworks. Sundays are fun days at the ballpark. Get autographs from some of your favorite Barnstormers players and play catch on the field before the game. Once the game is over, it's a Domino's Pizza Kids base run. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
Barnstormers here in the fifth inning. Ryan Castile, Vladimir Frias, Anderson De La Rosa against Jay Gauze, who's now working with a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the fifth inning.
Well, fans, we want to remind you of all the great promotions Tuesday through Thursday. The Lancaster Barnstormers continuing their homestand against the first place Sugar Land Skeeters. That includes Taco Tuesday. We have the Hess barbecue option, pizza, pinball, and beer. Oh, there's so much. 509-HITS, 717-509-HITS, or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com to secure your seats. By the way, Thursday is at 11 a.m. Baseball and Education Day, so great for the kids to come out and enjoy some morning baseball.
Ryan Castile in the hole, no balls, 2 strikes. Castile with a single to right field his first time up. Well, speaking of those Skeeters, any update as far as, well, they probably only,
I don't think they're playing
they
yet.
haven't started yet.
I don't think so. We'll get an update for you, though.
Pitch to Castile towards the gap in left center, falling fast. Silva over and cannot come up with it. That's going to fall for a base hit. Boy, for a second there, I thought he had it, but could not raise the glove. And I think on the slide, the ball popped out of the glove. So it's going to be a single for Ryan Castile, his second of the ball game.
Agreed.
Boy, nice effort, though, by Silva. Just could not come up with a grab. So Castile a leadoff single in the fifth. Here's Vladimir Frias. Frias struck out and ended what was a strikeout, throw him out double play. Castile thrown out at second base to end the second inning. Swung on and missed. No balls and a strike to Frias.
Quick update around the Atlantic League. That game has not begun between Sugar Land and Somerset, but the Road Warriors up 3-1 over New Britain in the sixth inning, and Southern Maryland a 3-0 lead on Long Island in the sixth inning as well. Top of the sixth for both of those, by the way.
Gauze ahead of Vladimir Frias now. No balls and 2 strikes. Short lead at first for Castile. And Frias down on 3 pitches.
Don't see that much.
Strikeout number 5 in the game for Gauze.
And
1 down here in the fifth.
Gauze has been pretty efficient, I think. On the other side of that rain delay, I think he's pretty dialed in.
And it looks as though the York bullpen just stretching, loosening up the muscles. Probably in another inning or so, we might see more activity.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't
barring
know.
An output here by the Barnstormers here in the fifth inning.
Gauze is looking good.
Anderson De La Rosa, he is 0 for 1. Struck out his first time up, goes after the first offering and fouls it straight back. No balls, 1 strike on Anderson De La Rosa. The light rain continuing to fall here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. And again, fouls it back almost to the same spot.
Another update across now Major League Baseball. The Atlanta Braves are down 4-1 against the Giants. They took a beating by them last night. Now the Giants all of a sudden are so good, 7-3 in their last 10. Phillies down 1-0 against the Washington Nationals. It's a battle between Max Scherzer and Jake Arrieta. That's a good pitching duel right there. Bottom of the fifth, 1-0 Nats. Pirates up 3-0 on the Brewers. A bunch of games going to happen later on tonight.
De La Rosa with a flare into right field, but it hangs high enough for Mitchell to make the catch. 2 down. Boy, De La Rosa just fought that one off on the inside part of the plate. Thought initially that thing was going to flare out there, but
I
it
thought
hung
so
up
too.
long enough for Mitchell to track it down.
Now, is that a case where if the wind's blowing like it was last night, is there a difference in the way that ball travels?
Yeah, that possibly.
Right?
Yeah, that wind last night, that flag was...
That was going.
Yeah, it was flapping.
Walker was 2 for 4 last night, we mentioned. So far, he is without a hit as he's up the bat.
Grounded out to first, squares the bunt, takes it inside for a ball.
And, that's the funny thing about baseball. It's the same team you've put up 20 runs over in the last 2 days, but a pitcher can make a world of a difference, and now you're down to 2 hits through 5 innings. Although, most of the offense we saw last night did come in the second half of the game, so maybe you hope for more of the same.
Yeah, it's Ryan Castile with both Lancaster hits. Throw to first.
Yeah. Wow. I don't
Michael
know.
Burgess was trying to sell it to first place.
Didn't he do that last night, too?
Yeah.
I think I saw him do that last night.
Well, and obviously Manolo Alejandro did not like the fact that Burgess, I don't want to say he was trying to show up Alejandro, but he was just trying to sell it to him, thinking that they might have had Castile picked off.
He really tries.
Count now 2-0 on Keenan Walker.
And while we have a good feeling that Brooks Hall will be done after this inning that he just pitched, you have to wonder, what about Jay Gauze? I don't know. I mean, we kind of mentioned it. Really no bullpen action. I mean, he looks like he's in a rhythm right now.
And you know what? Now you're thinking, okay, does Mark Mason say, all right, we need a win. He's pitching well. Let's keep him in.
Yeah.
And it might even go after this inning. It might go batter by batter.
I could see that. That I could agree with you there, where you just kind of, okay, maybe even, I don't know about this inning, but at the same time, Walker hits a 2-run bomb to left center, and then all of a sudden.
That might quickly change.
Yeah.
However, with nobody warming up, he would definitely have to stay in at least for another batter or more.
Yep.
To give somebody an opportunity to get loose.
And just another point here is it's going to be 3-1 to Walker. The rain starting to look a little bit more heavy again, and after this inning is over, this is an official game. So, and there's been rain forecasting sort of throughout the day, so unfortunate, isn't it? Yeah. Sunday afternoon game.
3-1 pitch. Walker fouls it straight back. So the count will go full at 3-2. So Castile will be taking off on the pitch with 2 outs here in the bottom of the fifth, a 2-0 York lead.
After 2 runs being scored off 2 outs in that top of the fifth inning, and as we mentioned, I mean, we don't know yet, but fans are once again beginning to exit and come back to the concourse. You don't think they'd do 2 delays in one game?
They might, as that pitch is up and in on Keenan Walker. So he draws a walk, and now the Barnstormers have runners at first and second.
Here we go.
With 2 outs. That's the second walk issued by Gauze this afternoon. So the Barnstormers trying to put something together here in the fifth with 2 outs.
This is the time to do it, too.
And we're going to have a mound visit. Check on the condition of Jay Gauze.
And then you got Carlos Garcia up, who, hasn't done a whole lot on this homestand. He was 5 for 10 on the road trip to start the year. But I mean, this is certainly an important at bat for the Barnstormers, and we talked about it earlier in the game when it was bottom of the fourth inning, and it looked like, okay, the most threats that, the Barnstormers had to that point, that was the closest they had a chance to scoring, and then we say that, and then next half inning was, of course, York's 2-run opportunity. So now Lancaster just trying to do that, trying to replicate that effort. And you know what, maybe I'm overreacting, but I'm thinking, hey, this rain's coming down again, and this time it might not stop. This time it might go for another hour or so. I want to get the lead before this inning's over.
First pitch to Garcia, and he fouls it straight back to the screen. The ball's in a strike. Garcia grounding out to Michael Burgess at first base, his first time up. Now Garcia, even though this is just his 13th at-bat of the season, he is 2 for 3 with runners in scoring position. And he's got one in scoring position with Castile at second.
Well, that's good. We'll take a time for a second here.
Garcia trying to dig in and get his footing in there at home plate. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. So Ryan Castile stands at second, Keenan Walker at first. With 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th inning, a 2-0 Revs lead.
Now the advantage, I think, for the pitcher here, though, is you're not gonna see a double steal, and with the Barnstormers, you always have to worry about guys on base. It seems. So you're not going to worry for the most part. I mean, maybe a runner goes over to third, but you got 2 outs. You got to attack this batter. I think this is an advantage to Gauze that we didn't see a lot of opportunities for guys like Severino last night when he was pitching because there was always someone on base for Lancaster. Normally Sanford.
Not only on base, but in scoring position.
Yeah.
2-1 pitch, swung on and missed. So the count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Garcia's got to protect here a little bit.
So Jay Gauze
to work with,
looking to try and get out of a Lancaster threat here and preserve what is right now a 2-0 Revs lead. Gauze and Clark unable to get on the same page as far as the pitch selection is concerned.
Yeah, I think so. And back-to-back counts where he's throwing a couple down, a couple out of the zone.
The pitch, ground ball right side. Overgone to first, and that'll end the inning. And the Lancaster threat. So the Barnstormers get 2 base runners, both left stranded. At the end of 5 here at Clipper Magazine Stadium, it's York 2, Lancaster nothing on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Enjoy a weeknight with the Barnstormers and leave with your wallet largely intact. Come on out on Munchie Mondays for all you can eat nachos, dogs, fries, popcorn, and soda for 2 hours. Or how about Koozie Tuesdays, where fans of legal age can enjoy $2 domestic drafts from 6:30 to 8. Bring your dog on Wiener Wednesdays and enjoy delicious dollar dogs as well. Or on Thrifty Thursday, popcorn is just $1, sodas are $2, and lawn seats are only $3. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
Okay, John, shelves are stocked.
So are the new Fast Play games from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Just pick your game, get your ticket, and see if you've won.
Like word search, with top prizes of 20 grand.
Yep, winning's never been faster.
Not faster than me clearing these shelves.
Dude, I hope you're even faster at restocking.
Yeah.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Ross Peoples has gone to the bullpen, and he will go with his right-hander, Garrett Granitz. 6'2", 205-pound right-hander out of Fort Myers, Florida. Granitz will be making his 5th appearance on the season. No wins or losses, an earned run average of 2.08. 2 strikeouts and 2 walks so far in 4 1/3 innings of work. Last pitched at Southern Maryland on Thursday. He worked a third of an inning, giving up 2 hits. A run it was earned. He walked 1 and struck out 1. Part of a 10-8 Barnstormers win.
And because he comes in here to start the 6th inning, that will end it for Brooks Hall. A pretty good effort here. He did throw 90 pitches by my count through 5 innings of play, allowing 2 runs. Both came in that top of the 5th inning, but give him credit for striking out 9 batters, including an inning in which he was able to strike out the side. That came up in the 3rd inning. Clark, Mitchell, and Witherspoon all went down. And now Burgess will start out against the new pitcher. So once again, back-to-back nights. And it's kind of been the theme so far this season for the Barnstormers, at least early on, and that is their starter goes 5 innings, their bullpen needs 4 innings of work. And you can laugh at that and think maybe, well, that's not the recipe for success all the time. It certainly has produced thus far in a 6-3 record for the second-place Stormers. And we'll see what the right-handed sidearm thrower, shades of Pat Neshek with the Phillies, but Garrett Granitz gets his work in.
Starts Michael Burgess with a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Burgess 0 for 2, and he grounds that one to the right side. Barnstormers with the shift on, and Noel's throw is going to pull Burgess off the bag.
Almost looked a bit lackadaisical there, sort of. Just didn't seem like there was really a lot of effort thrown in on that ball. Ball came in slow instead of running it down.
Well,
maybe they didn't think Burgess would run that hard.
And again, he was standing out in the grass. The ball hits the grass. Now it becomes wet.
And maybe it slows down in that
the
dirt.
throw to first, you could see it just tailed away from first base. So Burgess is on with a throwing error charged to Rico Noel. And here is Luis Cruz looking at a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Cruz 0 for 2 on the afternoon.
Now, if your bullpen can give you the same kind of production that they did yesterday, as that one slips in the zone in a 1-1 count, but if your bullpen can give you the same production they did yesterday, remember, 4 innings, only 1 hit allowed, that's all you can ask for. You're giving this team a chance to win.
Pitch down low, 2-1. Well, you got to figure for the Rev batters after facing Hall, who came in with that nasty slider, now you got a submarine type pitcher. Yeah. You got to try and pick up the ball at a whole different angle. So that pitch from Granite's up high, 3 balls and 1 strike.
That one looked good to me. So 3-1 and
tapped out in front of the plate. Granite's his only plays at first. He will get Cruz out, and on the play, Burgess will advance to second.
Nice little 1-3 play there and a good rundown from Granite's to come right in front of the home plate where that ball was tapped in front. And like you mentioned, the only play you have is at first, but you had a guy running up the paths. I mean, Cruz can run, and good for them to get that guy there and not have a similar incident that we just saw with Burgess where you probably should have an out in that one. So, although York up 2-0 here in the 6th inning, and now they do have a runner in scoring position for Ruby Silva.
Silva started out the rally for the Revs last inning with a leadoff triple to dead center field.
Stand-up triple. Silva, that was well hit.
No balls and a strike on Silva. Ground ball right side, knocked down by Noel, turns and fires, got him at first. Fine play by Rico Noel. Burgess will move to third. And he had to hurry because Silva gets down the line.
4-3 on the putout. 2 outs now. But they do have another runner at third now.
Here is Omar Obregon. Came into the ball game after Tabata had to leave when he got hit by a pitch on the left wrist in the second inning. Obregon popped out to Noel his first time up. York threatening again here in the sixth inning. Michael Burgess at third base. Got on a throwing error from Rico Noel. Advanced to second on a ground out back to the pitcher. And moved to third on the ground out by Ruby Silva.
Omar was in Advanced A in the Florida State League last year. Only 10 games there, though. And 32 ABs, three runs, 9 hits. Batted .281.
Granite's ahead in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Misses wide with that pitch, 1-2.
Well, that's his affiliated league report, by the way. Last played for the Florida Fire Frogs last year.
Fire Frogs.
Fire Frogs.
Okay.
I like it more than the Louisiana Baby Cakes, right?
Fly ball lifted into right field. Galen does not have to move far for this one. He will squeeze it and end the inning. So the error does not hurt the Barnstormers as Michael Burgess is left stranded at third. We are through 5.5 here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. It's the Rebs 2, Barnstormers nothing on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Learn from the pros right here in Lancaster. The Lancaster Barnstormers are offering 2 3-day-long youth clinics this summer with instruction on pitching, hitting, fielding, and base running. Each session, led by veteran professional players, will last from 9 until noon with lunch to follow. Choose from June 19th to 21st or July 24th to 26th. So learn what it takes to succeed on the field and off. Call the Barnstormers office at 717-509-HITS or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. Space is limited. Act now.
Introducing the all-new Lexus RX 350L, designed for room. Room for a power-folding third row. Room for up to 7.
Yeah, we should do today.
And room for the unexpected. The 3-row RXL. It's the RX with room for more. Experience the innovative RXL and RXL hybrid. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
RX 450HL arriving spring 2018.
Well, Mark Mason has gone to the bullpen now for the Rebs. He is going to bring in Robert Carson, a 6'4", 260-pound left-hander. It's a nice afternoon for Jay Gauze.
I'll say.
And they're going to rely on the Reb bullpen to try and hold this lead.
And kind of maybe Mark Mason has the same approach that Ross Peoples does, and you know, we're going to give our guy some reps here and not worry about getting him or pushing him as far as we possibly can early in the season. But then again, I sort of caught your ideology about, well, the team's struggling. Maybe you just keep the hot guy in. And we'll see what the Revs bullpen does. And remember, Severino, all the things we were saying about him last night and his, little challenge with Darian Sanford over at first. But it was the Revs bullpen that gave up 4 runs out of those 7. So we'll see what happens here.
Darian Sanford starting the 6th inning, looking at a strike. No balls and 1 strike. Sanford 0 for 2 on the afternoon. Carson making his 4th appearance in the season for the Revs. No wins or losses. Has recorded a save. 5 strikeouts and 1 walk. He's quickly in front of Sanford, 0-2. Wastes the pitch high. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Left-hander John Anderson up for Lancaster now. He's warming up. So Granites should be done after 1 inning, as it is a 2-2 count now to Darian Sanford, who has not gotten on base yet. Barnstormer sure could use him to get on there. Just 2 hits for Lancaster, no runs, bottom of the 6th.
Fouled straight back to the screen. Count remains even at 2-2.
Really, Sanford, I think, is, you almost want to say he's more dangerous when he's on the bag than when he is even at home plate. I mean, he can hit. He can do damage. He's batting well into the 300s. But, his biggest tool, he doesn't need to worry about going yard here or even hitting a long ball. Just get to first and start running.
Pitch goes high, and it's full now on Sanford at 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Five innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts for Jay Gauze. And if this is...
Fly ball right field. Sinking fast. Mitchell on the run and falls in front for a base hit. So Darian Sanford leads off the 6th with a base hit. Now we'll have to keep an eye on Sanford. See if he will be off and running.
This is what we talked about. You got to get him going, and the only question is, does the rain affect his ability to run? The dirt a little damp right now. It looks like the rain has stopped again. It's just kind of
it's a mist now.
Okay. Your eye's better than mine, but
you just have to look at something dark.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the overhang, that dark green.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah. Okay. Good eye.
Throw to first. Sanford back safely.
Yeah, now, you just obviously they're going to throw to Sanford. They're going to try and keep him there at first, but, it's his job to get in scoring position. He knows that. He's confident.
Bunt up the first base line. Flip to second, and at first they got him. Obregon with a really nice job of covering. And Burgess, some quick handwork as he flipped it to get Noel. On the fielder's choice, Sanford moves up to second.
Well, you got him in scoring position, but you thought maybe there was an opportunity to get Noel on base. Certainly a heck of a runner, right? There's your 1-2 punch. When it comes to speed, we talk about it up and down this lineup. They have it. Those 2 guys, I think, more than anybody. And they were back-to-back last night, batting 9th and then top of the order for Sanford. This time they're 1-2. Noel, hey, you can't come much closer than that.
That's a big play because
that is
Burgess, and let's not forget the Revs just signed Obregon.
Yeah, literally hours ago.
He had the presence of mind to continue on to first base.
Yeah,
Burgess had that split second to decide: do I flip the ball or do I eat it? And
no, you're
he
right.
Flipped it, and Bergeron was covering, and they got Noel on a bang play at first.
Yeah, I agree.
So here's Blake Galen, 0 for 2 on the afternoon. Down low for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes to Galen. York with a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
I just want to point out, and I didn't want to, but I'm going to. You said Bergeron and not Burgess.
Are
you having some hockey thoughts? Or Obregon. Maybe Patrice Bergeron of the Boston Bruins? They're still playing, fighting for their season this weekend. Down 3-1 to the Tampa Bay Lightning. There's your NHL score update.
So it's Burgess and Obregon combined, so it's Bergeron.
Yeah. Wonder if Patrice Bergeron watches Double-A independent baseball once in a while. Checks on his friends in Lancaster.
2 balls, no strikes.
Now, here's where that 3-run knock that Galen got last night, use one of those, right? 2-run, tie it up.
2-1 pitch. It's down for a ball. 3 balls and no strikes on Blake Galen.
Will you take a walk here? Why not, right?
Absolutely.
Then you bring Terdoslavich up, who's a power hitter. Kind of went cold these last 2 games, but good time to heat it up.
again, Carson will step off the mound.
Yeah, Sanford doing a lot of dancing right now around second base. Again, might be a little hard for you guys to see on the broadcast just where the camera angle is placed on our tripods. It's a first strike over for Galen, now 3-1. But based on where our camera is placed here, you can see, can't really see too much behind the pitcher's mound. So it's Sanford dancing around second. That's about a 10-foot lead off the bag.
Drive to right field and caught.
Oh, man.
Jared Mitchell with a diving catch for out number 2. And if he doesn't get that, it goes back to the wall, and Sanford scores easily.
That might be the highlight play defensively of this weekend. Heck of a catch there.
And that's a risky play. So many times you want to try and keep the ball in front of you, but Mitchell had already started into his dive, so at that point he was committed.
Yep.
And he came up with
and
the
if
grab.
You don't get that, you're scoring a run if Lanca's, he drops that ball, Sanford's coming around home. He was 3/4 of the way to third when that happened. He thought it was dropping. I did too.
So here is Joey Tardashevich with 2 outs and runner going, throw down to third, and an easy stolen base for Darian Sanford. He got a tremendous jump on Carson. He was at least a third of the way towards third base, and Carson was still in his leg kick.
Yeah, take advantage of that. Darian Sanford just so good when it comes to that.
Yeah, this is our first look at Tardashevich, I believe, from the right side of the plate.
That is 7 steals in the last 6 games for Darian Sanford, and 8 overall. That is 2 ahead of second place in the Atlantic League. Man, he gets around.
1 ball, 1 strike on Tardashevich.
Had some time with Double-A Harrisburg last year, and, we talked about this last night. Sometimes when guys are playing this good, you just wonder, how long do they stay?
Pitch down and in. 2 balls, 1 strike.
I hate to be a downer by saying that. I don't know if that necessarily is that. You want to feel good for the guy, and this kid can play.
Oh, yeah.
And he's confident, but he backs it up.
Rain starting to pick up again here in Lancaster.
Yeah, this has been an aggravating day for the fans, I can imagine. And credit to everybody that has come out to Clipper Magazine Stadium. I still think when you factor in the forecast, we had a decent crowd today.
Count now at 3 balls and a strike to Tardashevich. And the thing is, maybe not a situation where Carson wouldn't feel bad about giving a free pass.
Yeah.
He could set up a fielder's choice, and he will walk him.
You predicted it.
So you're going to throw a pitch out there hoping maybe that Tardashevich would go after it out of the strike zone. But good eye at the plate by Tardashevich. So he is at first, and now Barnstormer runners at the corners with 2 men out for Ryan Castile, who has picked up 2 of Lancaster's 3 hits.
Yeah, now with Sanford's single. Tardashevich, by the way, 0 for 2. That was his 3rd at-bat, so he's on base for the first time today.
And he's off and running, and a pitch fouled back to the screen.
You know what? Tardashevich is more of a power hitter. You don't expect to see that running, but I thought he had a pretty good lead there. I think he would have got there.
Carson really not keeping an eye on him.
No. And you know what? Credit to Tardashevich, a veteran guy who knows what to do in that situation. You're watching the pitcher. You're making sure he's not looking. Now he is looking a little bit, though. He saw. It's like, all right, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Not going to happen. 0-1 to Castile.
So the 3rd consecutive inning that the Barnstormers have had a runner in scoring position. And the 2nd time that they've had somebody at third base. That pitch misses high for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike on Ryan Castile. Sanford at third base. Tardashevich at first with 2 outs. Lancaster trying to scratch across a run here in the 6th inning. It's now 2-1. They have had opportunities. They just have not come up with the key hit this afternoon.
Hey, Silo is still out. Mascot walking around in the rain. Another ball fouled back at the safety netting.
So we'll go to 2-2.
Important pitch for Castile here. 2 outs. Barnstormers have runners on the corners, and they're down by a pair. Bottom of the 6th.
Swung on and missed. Carson gets the strikeout to end the inning.
And that kind of day.
For the Barnstormers in the 6th, no runs, a hit. They left 2 on base. We have finished 6 here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. It's York 2, Lancaster nothing on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Like craft beers, local wines? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, all new for 2018 is the Broken Bat deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat will feature more than 20 local craft breweries and product from 2 local wineries. If something with a little more kick is your adult beverage of choice, a local distillery is part of the Broken Bat as well. Food will be sold off a pub-style menu, so get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
AMT Concerts presents Rock at the Park Festival, Saturday, July 21st, featuring sets from Fuel, Eve 6, Sister Hazel, Long Beach Dub All-Stars, Fastball, and more. Rock at the Park, Saturday, July 21st, at Clipper Magazine Stadium, Lancaster. Tickets on sale now at rockatthepark.com.
Top of the 7th inning and a new pitcher for the Barnstormers. It's going to be left-hander John Anderson. Anderson making his 5th appearance of the season. He's worked 4 innings, no wins or losses. Not giving up a run either. 4 strikeouts and 2 walks for Anderson. So Garrett Granitz works 1 inning.
Now batting for the Revolution, the shortstop, number 17, Ryan Dent.
Nothing across, a clean slate for Granitz. The first one he will face is Ryan Dent. Dent officially 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. He takes a ball. 1 ball, no strikes to Ryan Dent. Revs 2, Barnstormers nothing. Top of the 7th. Lancaster trying to make it a 3-game sweep of the Revs before a day off. And then the Sugar Land Skeeters coming to town for a 3-game set beginning on Tuesday. Dent to be followed by Tyler Clark and then Jared Mitchell. The 1-1. Oh, and that goes off the foot of Dent. And we've already seen how depleted this York roster is. And with Tabata getting hit on the left wrist by a pitch, the last thing they need is somebody else to come out of the ball game because they are very short-staffed. Dent pointing to his left shin. Ouch. Well, he's going to take his time trying to get up. Doesn't matter if it's 40 degrees or 80 degrees outside. When you get hit on the shin like that, that smarts. And Doug McFarling, the home plate umpire, will give Dent as much time as he needs to try and get loosened up and see if he can continue on. Dent grabs the bat, so it appears he's going to give it a go.
Fans every weekend right here at Cooper Magazine Stadium, the Broken Back Craft Beer Deck down the right field line will feature local brews available for sale.
Dent will step back in, albeit gingerly.
Beer House Brewing Company, you can visit them now down the right field line at the Broken Back Craft Beer Deck. The Broken Back Craft Beer Deck, come for baseball, stay for beer.
So a ball and 2 strikes to Dent. Check swing and the appeal. Alejandro says no swing. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Anderson with the 2-2 pitch. Missing inside. So the count full now on Ryan Dent at 3 balls and 2 strikes. John Anderson out of Tampa, Florida, was with the Barnstormers a season ago. 3-1 with a 3.00 earned run average. Ground ball to third. Garcia tried to backhand it, and it ricochets off his glove. So Dent will be on to lead off the 7th inning.
Well, you never want to have your leadoff guy aboard, and for Lancaster, that's the case right now. You know, last inning, too, with Granites, and he had a couple guys on, but he was able to take care of things, so can't hope for the same thing for the left-hander John Anderson.
He ruled an infield single for Dent. 5th hit of the ball game for the Revs. Highly unlikely, though, that we're going to see Dent running after taking that foul ball off of his shin. And he looks back and said, "Are you kidding? You think I'm going to run?"
I mean, it's not Darian Sanford, right? But according to Sanford earlier today, I'm a professional athlete. I can do it. Maybe he's looking over and saying, you know what, Dent can too.
You happened to step out. He fouled one off of his shin.
Ouch.
He was down for a bit. That's why I said we're not going to see him run. Tyler Clark 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Pulls the bat back as if to bunt and takes low for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike on Tyler Clark. Light rain still falling here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Clark does drop a bunt, but it goes foul. Now, if anything, gives Dent a chance to jog a little bit and try and keep that shin loosened up.
You can tell he's still limping on it a bit.
Oh, yeah.
See that?
I said, York in no position to try and take him out because they're just short-manned on the bench. Check swing, ground ball.
Could be two.
Noel, well, he'll flip to second and get a force out. And
fielder's choice. Hey, good choice.
Ryan Dent's not going to contest that one. So 4-6 on the fielder's choice and 1 down. Jared Mitchell will step to the plate. Mitchell, 1 for 3 on the afternoon.
And you mentioned with just right now, it's kind of a lack of depth for York because of all those injuries, hence the Obregon signing earlier today. I mean, they just needed a guy, and little little did we know they would end up needing him, and they had to play him.
Yep.
Due to the injury to Jose Tabata, which happened back in the second inning.
Mitchell swinging on the first pitch.
So
missing, nothing in one.
If they have another guy get hurt, do you have a bullpen guy come in? Is that what you're down to?
I would think.
Right? Yeah. I think so too. So they have to preserve their bullpen arm as well. They need to at least have one guy. No, you're not pitching today. You're emergency hitter.
Ball bouncing up there. Nice block by De La Rosa. 1 ball, 1 strike on Jared Mitchell. 7th inning baseball here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Revs with a 2-0 lead.
Right now the Barnstormers just, got to hope you maybe run into a weak arm in the Revs bullpen or something to just get you going here. Maybe start out with a double or a leadoff triple like they had. We could use one of those.
Pitch missing inside.
But it feels like it's been one of those games, doesn't it? Where just everything that could go wrong kind of is.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the pitching performance that Hall had. I mean, just dominating with the 9 strikeouts.
Yeah.
Pitch missing.
And it's
now 3-1.
And it's not for lack of pitching because, in reality, it's the top of the 7th inning. You're down 2 runs. If your pitchers combine and give up 2 runs, they are giving you a chance to win this ball game. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, play devil's advocate. It's a testimony to York's pitching. It's been solid today, starting with Jay Goss.
3-1 pitch. Fly ball left field. Tailing, is it going to stay? It is a fair ball into the corner.
I'm wondering if that's a...
Coming around and scoring is going to be Tyler Clark. Stopping at second is Jared Mitchell with an RBI double.
That was awfully close to being a home run ball, nearly hitting that left foul pole.
Well, they're
talking about it, and you see one of the guys in the bullpen is saying it hit off the pole. That should be a home run. You saw that? And of course, it's a York bullpen person, so you're going to have some bias there. But are the umpires having a discussion at all? No?
No, that is solely the call of the third base umpire, is it not?
Oh, man. You know what? In a system you can't review something, it is such a tough call. I'm going to be honest with you, naked eye, and I might have a little bit of a better view being on the right side in this booth. I did think it hit off the pole. I was a little surprised initially, but either way, we do have a pitching change here. So someone is coming in.
All right, well, we'll try and figure that out as they meet the umpires and look at it. But we'll step aside. Pitching change here for the Barnstormers here in the 7th inning. Right now, it's at least a 3-0 Revs lead.
Yep.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com, too. And you can get them right on your phone, thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Well, the umpires continue to talk with Mark Mason, Revs manager. And again, without accessibility of instant replay, we really don't know
and you know what's
how that exactly ricocheted.
Well, and here's the other thing, too. And I know some people have asked this even on our stream that are watching on the Barnstormers YouTube channel. We're supposed to be getting a center field camera and instant replay. That's just a work in progress right now. This is one of those instances where you wish you did have it for the time being. But, yeah, I mean, they're going to talk about it. There's going to be no overruling on that. I waited to score it because I was wondering if they were going to decide that it did hit off the left foul pole, and I think it did. If not, it was a game of inches, but they will score it as a double. And that's a double for Jared Mitchell. Clears off Ryan Dent, and now it's a 3-0 lead for York. Top of the 7th, one man down.
So for Mitchell, his first two-base hit of the season and his third run batted in on the year gives the Revs a 3-0 lead here in the 7th. A new pitcher in the ball game for the Barnstormers, by the way, Jesus Sanchez, a right-hander. Witherspoon fouls off the pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike to Travis Witherspoon. Witherspoon 1 for 3 on the afternoon. For Sanchez, this is his 5th appearance. 1 win, no losses, has not given up an earned run yet this season in 3 innings of work. The 1-1 pitch, fouled off. So the Revs have been able to take advantage of the opportunities when they've had runners in scoring position. It's just the opposite for Lancaster.
Yep. And, you know, it's just been tough. I mean, and the pitching really hasn't been bad. It's just one of those things. You know, sometimes you run into a team or a game in this case. I don't know that York is per se the team, but in this game, you know, it's just a couple of mistakes. It's just those couple resulted in runs.
Jammed him. Slow roller to third. Garcia to first, and the throw goes wide into the right field bullpen of near the bullpen, I should say, of the Barnstormers. Coming in to score is Mitchell, and it is now 4-0 Revs. The wheels coming off here for the Barnstormers.
Yep. Unfortunate.
That'll be a throwing error charged to Garcia. So Witherspoon at first. Second error of the ball game against Lancaster.
Yeah, and like you said, now is where it's starting to, you know, yesterday we talked about the later innings. That was where things started picking up for Lancaster. Now you have 4 runs in the last 2 innings for York, their only runs. They were limited to 4 hits in the game through 9 innings yesterday. They've got 6 hits in this one and 6 in a third.
0-1 on Zach Wilson. 1 for 3 on the afternoon. Witherspoon draws a throw from Sanchez over at first. Witherspoon, a pretty decent lead out there at first. Just 1 stolen base so far. There he goes. Pitches up, throw down to second. Right on the money. Anderson De La Rosa guns him down at second base.
And that's a good recovery for the Barnstormers. I know already down by 4, but you get an important out there, and just a matter of working it just like that. You know, 1 out at a time. You got to take control of this game, sort of slow it down in a way. People will say baseball already sort of does that, but you really need to from, I think, a mental standpoint, because some of these look like mental mistakes to me. And Ross Peoples talked about that a little bit earlier today in our pregame chat with him. And he said, you know what, we've been doing a lot of things right. We're making A couple of mental mistakes, he said that'll come. Well, you didn't see those in the last few games because of how well they've been playing. This game, they're a little bit more apparent.
So Sanchez now with the bases empty and 2 outs. Ahead on the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Zach Wilson. And he got him swinging. Ends the inning, but the Revs push across 2 more runs. And we are at 7th inning stretch time at Clipper Magazine Stadium. It's the Revs 4, the Barnstormers nothing on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
You're totally probably safe to ride on your spare for what, 6, maybe 9 months?
Don't trust the wrong advice. Get the right tires at the right price right away. It's what we've been doing at Jack Williams Tire right here in Pennsylvania since our family started this business back in 1929. Because doing things the right way is just the Williams way. Get the right tires right now at jackwilliams.com.
Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu.
Robert Carson out to work his 2nd inning of relief. For Mark Mason, a 4-0 Revs lead here in this final game of this weekend series between the Barnstormers and the Revolution in front of a crowd of 4,286 this afternoon.
That's not bad for the weather. That really isn't when you think about it. I mean, and credit to some of these fans that have been putting up with this game. I think a lot of them from the concourse area. And, hey, how about the fans that are sitting out on the lawn? Getting rained on out there, you Warriors. Hoping. Now, there's still a decent amount of people here, too. So, Barnstormers are down to 9 outs, and some fans still believing in their home team that they could finish off this 3-game set against York with a sweep.
Well, they got their work cut out for them, trailing 4-0. Vladimir Frias, the ball and no strikes.
Certainly do.
Starting off the 7th inning. Frias has gone down on strikes in both plate appearances.
Elsewhere, every game underway now in the Atlantic League, and Somerset jumping out to a 3-2 lead over Sugar Land, the top of the 3rd. Remember, the Patriots gave the Skeeters their first loss of the season last night, so Sugar Land falling to 7-1. And now the Pats looking for the first series win over Sugar Land this season.
Line shot and a base hit into right field.
That's a start.
Vladimir Frias picks up his first hit of the afternoon. Just the 4th for the Barnstormers in the ball game,
which matched the totals from yesterday in terms of the York Revolution's hitting numbers. But now, I mean, it's, 4 runs. Here's the thing: you get a couple runners on, all of a sudden, this isn't insurmountable. It's just a matter of, like you said, the Revolution, when they would get guys on base, they were taking advantage of it. And to this point, Lancaster hasn't been able to do that, in large part to the fact that they're not getting a lot of guys on base. So maybe things change up here a little bit. De La Rosa up to bat now with a runner on first.
De La Rosa 0 for 2 on the afternoon. First pitch to De La Rosa is over for a strike. No balls and 1 strike.
Now, when you're in a game like this, and you're 6 innings in, going now in the bottom of the 7th, and been struggling as a team hitting, do you get less aggressive or more aggressive on the base paths, or does the mentality stay the same? You don't want to give a free out.
No.
And
I guess it's. I mean, you got to look at the run differential. Right now, it's 4. You don't want to get thrown out when you're trying to put something together.
Yeah.
I was wondering here if this was going to be a situation maybe where we see De La Rosa put down a bunt, just try and advance somebody, free us up into scoring position.
Well, that's your answer. 3 pitches and he's down on strikes. Those are the at-bats you really don't like to see, I think. You know, that 3-pitch at-bat, strike, strike, strike.
That De La Rosa is a guy I remember last year when he went on a tear, he was picking up extra base hits all over the place. Just a little sluggish out of the gate here in 2018.
Yeah.
So 1 down here in the 7th brings up Keenan Walker.
Meanwhile, Matt.
4 for 1 with a walk.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Eric. Matt Marksberry up right now in the Barnstormers bullpen, so he will likely take over for Sanchez in the 8th inning.
Marksberry, somebody we saw last night.
Yep, only reliever to be credited a win so far this season for Lancaster. Fun little fact for you.
Popped up right side of the infield. Burgess called off by Obregon, who'll make the play.
And Obregon has all of a sudden became an important part of this lineup for York in this game. You think about it, he's contributed a little bit defensively at the plate.
And really, I think no play bigger than last inning when Sanford led off with a single and then Noel pushed that bunt up the first base line, and Obregon had the presence of mind to run behind Burgess.
Yep.
And Burgess turned and flipped and got Noel on a very close play at first.
Agreed. Also Trayvon Robinson. He'll hit this one in place of Carlos Garcia. His night is over, and so is the 7th inning for the Barnstormers.
So 1 pitch, 1 out to Trayvon Robinson. Ends the Barnstormers 7th. No runs, a hit, and 1 runner left on base. We move to the 8th inning here in Lancaster. It's York 4, Lancaster nothing on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com, too. And you can get them right on your phone, thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
New pitcher in the ball game for the Barnstormers. They're going to go with left-hander Jared Lakin. Lakin making his 5th appearance on the season. No wins, 1 loss. He's worked 4 2/3 of an inning this season. 5 strikeouts and no walks. So the pitching rotation out of the bullpen continues here for Ross Peoples this afternoon, and the rain really starting to pick up now, fall a little bit heavier.
Yeah, this is about as heavy as it was, I think, when they delayed it in the 2nd. Am I wrong? It's got to be close, right?
Pretty close to it, yeah.
And meanwhile, I know we just did a little Atlantic League scoreboard update, some stuff going on in Major League Baseball. It's the middle of the 9th inning. The New York Yankees are home, and they're down 4-3 to the Cleveland Indians. What's more interesting about that game is the Yankees had a combined no-hitter come to an end in the 8th inning, and that is when the Indians ended up getting 4 runs. So that close, I know, right?
Also, not only did the no-hitter end, but it fell apart.
Now you're not going to win. Or maybe not. Ball upstairs to Burgess, 1-0. Also, the Mets are down 3-2 against the Rockies. Rockies with a 2-0 win over New York yesterday. I'm sorry. Your team's not doing too well.
Atlanta, they scored a run at least.
Yeah, that's true. That's a positive. 1 run over 18 innings. You're doing all right. Atlanta down 4-1 against San Francisco. Phillies are up 3-1 in the bottom of the 7th over the Nationals.
Burgess flips a fly ball down the left field line, but it's going to drift out of play. Count will be even at 1 ball, 1 strike on Burgess. Officially 0 for 3 on the afternoon, though he did reach on a throwing error from Rico Noel. And that steady stream of rain continuing to fall now here in Lancaster.
And that pitcher's mound looks like it suffered more than any other place on the field when it comes to that rain.
York with 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors. Lancaster, no runs, 4 hits, 2 errors through 7 innings. Pitch inside. 2-1 to Burgess, to be followed by Luis Cruz and then Ruby Silva.
Oh, with the rain coming down the way it is, you'd like an easy 1-2-3. Let's go back to your hitters. 6 outs to work with for the Barnstormers, down by 4. Don't want to make it any more.
Burgess looked like he lost his footing and flailed on that one. It's now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
When you're up by 4, that's not a lot of runs to be up by, in my opinion, but you're in the 8th inning. So do you think hitters sometimes get a little lazy on these pitches?
I just think that when he got fooled a little bit, and then again, footing a little slick down there. He takes a ball. It's 3-2.
Yeah, I can imagine. Full count.
Revs have left 5 runners on base through 7 innings. Same with Lancaster. Both teams have left 3 runners in scoring position. Burgess taps one slowly up the first base line. Flip to first, and covering was Noel. Heads up play by Rico Noel because Lakin looked like he had trouble getting off the mound.
He did. Yep, I was just about to say that. If that guy would have, if Burgess would have pushed across first, you would have had to give it, an infield hit because Lakin just slipped. You're battling field conditions right now.
Todoslavich, when he fielded it, he hesitated because he saw that Lakin had problems, but then turned around, saw Noel behind him, and
good defensive recovery.
Get it done. So 1 down here in the 8th for Luis Cruz, 0 for 3 on the afternoon.
Yeah, but batting .318 overall, and fortunately for him.
Well hit ball into left field. Keenan Walker backpedaling is there to make the catch.
I was going to say fortunate for him. He ended up getting out, so that'll likely be it for him on a 0 for 4 day. But you know what? You got to be a team player, right? Your team's up by 4 runs. There's some positive there as York tries to inch back to the 500 mark on the season. They're 1 game under at 4-5. Barnstormers 6-3. Of course, it looks like they might be dropping down to 6-4 as they touch double digits on what is another very long baseball season. 126 games this year, 14 less than the year before due to Bridgeport Bluefish being out and the Road Warriors coming in, so you have 14 less road games. 70 still coming here at Clipper Magazine Stadium.
First pitch to Sylvan. He grounds it to the left side. Vladimir Frias will throw him out. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Jared Lakin. Barnstormers come to bat in the bottom of the 8th inning. It's York 4, Lancaster nothing on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
We can't help but always want more, especially on the road. More horsepower, heightened handling, elevated design. Get more out of your drive with a Lexus IS. Bold styling, track-tuned handling, available 311 horsepower. Experience the exhilaration of the IS 350 and IS 300. Available in F-Sport and all-wheel drive. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Enjoy weekends with the Barnstormers all season long. Every Friday evening home game will feature a different giveaway ranging from t-shirts to beach towels to backpacks. On Saturdays, enjoy the best entertainment doubleheader there is with Barnstormers baseball followed by fireworks. Sundays are fun days at the ballpark. Get autographs from some of your favorite Barnstormers players and play catch on the field before the game. Once the game is over, it's a Domino's Pizza Kids base run. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
Jake Ezel, the new pitcher in for the Revs. So the bullpen for York getting the job done. Good, solid outing for Robert Carson. Ezel this afternoon, he'll face the top of the order for the Barnstormers. It'll be Darian Sanford, Rico Noel, and Blake Galen.
Yeah, Robert Carson, the first pitcher over the weekend to come in relief and pitch 2 innings of scoreless baseball.
Jacob Ezel making his 5th appearance on the season, a win and no losses. 3 strikeouts and a walk in 5 innings of work. Well, the good news is the rain has let up
again
a little bit.
This on and off and on and off all day long. Now, Darian Sanford is leading off the bottom of the 8th for the Lancaster Barnstormers. So far today, he is 1 for 3. He got a base hit in the 6th inning, struck out in the 1st, and flew out to left in the 4th inning. Now, Sanford has actually reached base safely at least twice in every game played so far this season. Plus 7 steals in his last 6 games, so that little streak for him is on the line. Went 0 for 3 yesterday, so now he is 4 for 11 on the 3-game swing here in Lancaster over the York Revolution. Takes the ball inside. It's 1-0. Or outside, I should say.
Sanford, Noel, Galen.
Top of the lineup.
Yep.
I mean, I guess in some ways you could say, now or never. That's kind of been the moral, I think, maybe the last inning or two as well. But, you're at the top of the lineup. These are the guys that are supposed to help you more than anybody else.
2-0 pitch. Sanford lifts it foul.
And Sanford was not happy the fact that he swung at that one, or maybe that he just didn't hit it on the right part of the bat. You're looking for the end of that bat, the fat part of it, where you're going to be able to get the furthest contact. He fouls this one off. Maybe a good pitch that he should have had more on, perhaps.
2-1. Turns and squares the bunt. Ends up taking a strike. So the count will be even now with 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And you got to wonder if there's just a lot going through your head right now, because then you think swing. Now you're thinking bunt. Just what do I have to do to get on base and help my team?
Now the bunt's off at 2 strikes.
Yeah, so
Sanford takes high. Count full. 3-2.
Either that or it's his way of throwing off Ezel. And Sanford, I could see him trying to play those mind games, but sometimes I think it turns backfiring at you.
Little ground ball, and they say it's a fair ball. Doug McFarling calling a fair ball. From this angle, it looked as though that Tyler Clark had picked it up in foul territory.
And the Barnstormers are going to ask for it. They're going to argue this one. Obviously, I don't think you're going to get anything back from it. Well, the umpires are going to discuss things. From our view, that's so hard to tell, but it looked like it was riding that white line of paint, and it could have went one way or the other.
Well, McFarling will talk to first base umpire Manalo Alejandro, and then Jorge Tehran comes in on the conversation as well.
Tehran is the third base umpire with Alejandro at first.
Well, it's either home plate or first base, because if you're at third base,
yeah,
how
you
can
can't tell.
Yeah,
you're in the same kind of view that we are. It's a strikeout, and struck out, and then Sanford does a little bat flip right in front of the umpires to let them know he's dissatisfied with that call, and there is one down here in the bottom of the eighth.
It appeared from where we are sitting that ball looked like it was foul.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. That's a tough call even. I don't know.
Oh.
All you can do is move on, right? Rico Noel up.
How we wish for the instant replay.
Yeah.
At least from our perspective.
Well, and then there's the other side of it. I mean, let's go back. I used this a couple times already. You're a traditionalist. Instant replay was not a part of the game, and there's a lot of people that think that and challenging.
I'm saying instant replay on the part of the broadcasters.
Okay, all right, fair enough. All right. So you don't want it to be a part of the game. I mean, there's only so much the naked eye can do.
Right.
You know?
But again, it's kind of really putting the umpires under a microscope.
Yeah.
The game has always been
it's tough.
It's been a human decision, you know.
Yeah.
This one popped up. Clark throws off the mask back towards the screen and is able to make the play.
Falling down to make that catch. And again, not able to see that on your screen here, but just behind all the dirt with home plate right back to the foul screen. Maybe a couple feet in front of that. And just able to flag it down is Tyler Clark, and he falls on his stomach, but the ball remaining in his glove, and now there's two down for Blake Galen, who is up in the bottom of the eighth inning. And, oh, man, you know, you just keep looking and you're shaking your head. How does it keep happening?
Outside ball one to Galen. Galen 0 for 3 on the afternoon.
He's not the only one. Not a lot of guys hitting today. Just 4 hits.
Hey, you're going to have days like this.
You are. I was going to ask you that. You know, is this one of those games you just sort of look at and say, well, it's bound to happen. We've won 5 in a row. So much going well. You know, and as Ross Peoples said during our pregame show earlier this afternoon, there were still mistakes being made. It's just you're not noticing them when you're winning.
3 balls and no strikes. And Blake Galen has drawn a 2-out walk.
Yeah. 3rd walk of the game for the Barnstormers, right?
Yep.
Trdoslavich up.
Trdoslavich 0 for 2 with a walk. And he'll go back to the left side of the plate against right-hander Izell. Lancaster in need of runs, down 4-0. Trdoslavich takes strike 1. Don't forget, an off day tomorrow for the Barnstormers, and then the Sugar Land Skeeters come in for 3 games beginning Tuesday evening.
And you know what the positive there is? If Sugar Land remains down like they were last time we checked, we'll give you an update again before we head off here. Right now, actually, it's 3-3 in the bottom of the 4th inning there. But if Somerset can pull that out, then you don't lose any ground.
Remains a 1.5 difference between Sugar Land and Lancaster.
That's where we're at.
1 ball, 1 strike on Trdoslavich. Fouls it back. Ryan Castile on deck for the Barnstormers.
Trdoslavich still looking for his first hit over the weekend. That is if you don't count Friday as part of your weekend. In that case, he has 2 home runs.
Pitch down in the dirt, blocked nicely by Clark behind the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Blake Galen at first base with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning. York with a 4-0 lead. And it looks as though Lancaster will go to the bullpen yet again in the 9th inning. The 2-2 and strike 3 called on the inside corner. Turdoslavich called out on strikes. No runs, no hits, and a runner left on base. We go to the 9th inning here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. 4-0 Rebs on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Enjoy a weeknight with the Barnstormers and leave with your wallet largely intact. Come on out on Munchie Mondays for all-you-can-eat nachos, dogs, fries, popcorn, and soda for 2 hours. Or how about Koozie Tuesdays, where fans of legal age can enjoy $2 domestic drafts from 6:30 to 8. Bring your dog on Wiener Wednesdays and enjoy delicious dollar dogs as well. Or on Thrifty Thursday, popcorn is just $1, sodas are $2, and lawn seats are only $3. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
Okay, John, shelves are stocked.
So are the new Fast Play games from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Just pick your game, get your ticket, and see if you've won.
Like word search, with top prizes of 20 grand.
Yep, winning's never been faster.
Not faster than me clearing these shelves.
Dude, I hope you're even faster at restocking.
Yeah.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Top of the 9th inning here at Clipper Magazine Stadium, 4-0 Revs. That's Steven Johnson.
Or Kevin Munson.
Yeah, these Sunday jerseys are a little hard to read.
Well, why is it that some of them don't look like the others? Like some of the guys, you know, Turdoslavich, I mean, his is clear as day on the back, and some of them have the black silo spots. I'm not getting any texts from our statistician. We're going to have to report to him.
I think it is Steven Johnson.
I hope to have a confirmed answer for you in a moment.
First pitch upstairs to Omar Obregon, who was 0 for 1. 0 for 2 with a pop out and a fly out. Ground ball right side. And Rico Noel will throw out Obregon for out number 1.
It is Steven Johnson.
Okay.
There you go. You got confirmation. So Barnstormers turning to their 6th arm of the day, and I guess when you have an off day tomorrow, that is all right. Well, you look at it across between this and last night, 11 arms over 2 games. Getting your exercise in.
I'd say these guys aren't getting the work as Ryan Dent has to bail out.
Yeah, he does.
After getting hit by or fouling off a pitch last time up, he's thinking, geez.
He's living up to his last name, taking a couple dents.
Avoided one there.
Yeah. Well, that one might have been worse than the one before.
Curveball over for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike on Dent.
I mean, at the end of the day, there's still some positives. I think pitching's been still pretty good. They only gave up 4 runs. Bullpen wasn't as shut down as yesterday, but we can still talk about how great of a start that was for Brooks Hall.
Hey, you give up 1 run through now almost 4 innings. I'm sure Ross Peoples will take that.
Yeah.
Over for a strike, so the count now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Steven Johnson, a 27-year-old out of Austin, Texas, as Dent fouls that one out of play. Kind of limited action for Steven Johnson last year. Made a rehab appearance in the Arizona League.
Yeah.
June 29th, and then did get into 2 Eastern League games in July. And 3 over the final week of the season. So not a lot of action last season for Johnson.
Sometimes you see guys that are in that position, they come to the independent league to just kind of regather some attention to themselves and get an opportunity. Look at Brooks Hall, who started today's game, and Ross even said in the pre-show, he's a starting pitcher for us. And I think Brooks comes here because that's what he wants to be. He doesn't want to be a reliever or a guy who's going to go 1 inning. He wants to be relied on every 5th day.
Well, he's kind of proving himself. Little roller up the third baseline.
That is foul.
And De La Rosa will pick it up as a trickled foul. So the count will hold at 3 balls and 2 strikes on Ryan Dent. Four nothing Revs here in the top of the 9th inning.
Well, now there's a little bit more wind. Flag blowing out. Not much.
It's supposed to be a lot nicer tomorrow. So.
Well, tomorrow we're not playing.
I know.
I'll be at a baseball game, though. Going to travel to Philly. Phillies, Giants. Why not?
3-2 pitch. Popped up. De La Rosa throws off the mask behind home plate, and he will make the catch for out number 2. No finals?
For the Phillies yet?
No,
me.
You.
Papers. 2 of them. One is already done. I did it yesterday before I came here. Look at me. I worked on the weekend. That's rare. You got to remember, I'm graduating in a week. There's not much left to do. And there's not much.
You've already cashed it in other words.
Pretty much. Well, I've kind of, I think last call came last year. So I was, the GPA is still good.
All right. So with 2 down, Tyler Clark.
I'm pushing 3 1/4, 3.25. Not bad, right? Never made Dean's List, but you know what? Came close. I had a 3.48 one time. 3.5 would have made Dean's List. And when I missed that, I said, that's it. Never even going to try again. That was freshman year.
1 ball, 1 strike to Clark.
Hey, by the way, back-to-back games that Barnstormers pitching has struck out 10 Revs batters, 9 from Hall alone, and then we had 1 thrown in the 7th inning. That one coming off the hand of Sanchez, as you mentioned.
Ball and 2 strikes now to Tyler Clark.
And maybe another one coming up.
Clark reached on a fielder's choice, scored the 3rd run of the ball game for the Revs. Two balls, 2 strikes.
And for York, they're not scoring a ton of runs here, but they've been getting scored on a ton over their last few games, and so they get a chance to break out of that spell. This one fouled back.
Well,
It's the rooftop.
When you're trying to end a losing streak, you probably don't care how it happens.
Yeah.
You just want to get back in the win column.
Yeah.
That, and I'm sure the Revs office is going to be busy trying to find bodies to fill out this roster.
Yeah, well, they've got a day to do it. I think it'll be an off day for the players, but perhaps not for Mark Manson and their staff.
Of course, with Tabata getting hit on the left wrist.
And you have to wonder about that.
Yeah.
Is that a precaution? Oh. She is.
De La Rosa takes yet another one off the face mask this afternoon.
Yeah, I tell you what, from a defensive standpoint, he might be the player of the game for the Barnstormers. He's been good.
Tyler Clark, he knows exactly what it's like as he chats with De La Rosa.
Yeah.
Of course, these two teammates a season ago here in Lancaster.
Don't forget Obregon, going back to what you were saying here about the injury to Tabata. And again, gets the ball off the wrist. Is it a precaution because it's like, hey, we're losing so many guys, we don't want to take any chances? Or is this guy hurt long term and you need a couple more signings?
And Clark goes after a high offering and comes up empty.
11th strikeout for Barnstormers pitching. If that's how it ends, got to give them some credit.
Steven Johnson, a 1-2-3 inning in the ninth. Barnstormers coming to bat in the bottom of the ninth. Last chance to tie it or win it. 4-0 Revs on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Learn from the pros right here in Lancaster. The Lancaster Barnstormers are offering 2 3-day-long youth clinics this summer with instruction on pitching, hitting, fielding, and base running. Each session, led by veteran professional players, will last from 9 until noon with lunch to follow. Choose from June 19th to 21st or July 24th to 26th. So learn what it takes to succeed on the field and off. Call the Barnstormers office at 717-509-HITS or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. Space is limited. Act now.
Introducing the all-new Lexus RX 350L, designed for room. Room for a power-folding third row. Room for up to 7. And room for the unexpected. The 3-row RXL. It's the RX with room for more. Experience the innovative RXL and RXL hybrid. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
RX 450HL arriving spring 2018.
Ricardo Gomez will try and close it out here for the Revs. Leading 4-0.
Non-save situation for Gomez here. By the way, at this time, I want to thank all our viewers that have been watching on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel. Andrew Moss works alongside Eric May for this game. And, well, Eric, it has not been the same contest from less than 24 hours ago.
No.
Decent pitching performance. The offense just has not been able to get it done. And now with 3 outs to go here in the bottom of the ninth, Lancaster down 4 runs to nothing. And they have only pushed 4 hits in this game. I have 3 walks in there as well. And Ryan Castile will start things off. And he was one of those guys that was able to get a walk.
But, you know, the thing we were talking about before we went on the air today, and that's the beauty of baseball, is that it's unpredictable.
It really
is.
is.
No time or shot clock or anything like that. So 4 runs can be made up.
Yep. That is absolutely true. Look, we were just talking, we were doing an MLB scoreboard update, and the Yankees had a no-hitter going into the 8th inning against the Cleveland Indians. I mean, you see that.
Yep.
That's worse than this. And the Indians are up 4-3. Actually, I think they won that game. I'll get back to you on that.
Castile will start it with a strike. He is 2 for 3 on the afternoon. Ricardo Gomez, this is just his second appearance of the season for the Revs. Check swing, but he went too far.
Nope, the Yankees came back and won it 7-4. They were down 4-3 in the bottom of the ninth, and they won it 7-4 off a grand slam. Can't do it any better, can you?
In the 9th inning?
Yep, bottom of the ninth. At home.
Oh,
must have been pretty
down
cool.
On strikes. 3 pitches, and he is retired. One down here in the ninth.
And if you didn't already know, the Mets, that's a final. They lost to the Colorado Rockies. 3-2 the final there. Oakland A's and Baltimore Orioles are one run ahead of what they were through 12 innings yesterday. It's the bottom of the second. O's lead it 1-0. Pirates up 8-0 on the Brewers in the bottom of the seventh. As Frias will swing over a pitch that's in the dirt. And the Phillies are up 4-1 in the bottom of the eighth against the Washington Nationals. Tommy Hunter is up right now against Trey Turner.
Frias 1 for 3 on the afternoon. Gomez. Long look.
Yeah.
Clark behind the plate steps off the rubber and
Taking his time. Well, the rain's coming in once more.
Why not?
This was kind of an ugly day for baseball, and I think it sort of replicated the weather on the field. Not the best game for the Barnstormers, but you know what? They had a 5-game win streak going into it. Not over yet, right?
Pitch is inside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Spinning out in the dirt there was Tyler Clark, trying to catch that. Although he hasn't had quite the rough stuff that De La Rosa has dealt with today. But he's been there before, as you mentioned, any catcher with a good deal of experience, even if it's not professional ball, will know that it can be a sometimes bumpy road in baseball. Pun intended.
Swung on and missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Vladimir Frias. Gomez again, a long look. Frias laid on the swing, and he's down on strikes.
That is the 10th strikeout for Revs pitching today. And back-to-back strikeouts for their guy, Ricardo Gomez, trying to close things out. Again, a non-save situation for him. Jay Gauze went through 5 innings. Robert Carson pitched 2 scoreless. Then Jake Ezel threw in the 8th. And now Gomez trying to close things out in the 9th. Barnstormers, with Anderson De La Rosa up, are down to their final out on this Sunday afternoon game, trailing at 4-0 against the York Revolution.
First pitch fouled straight back to the screen, 0-1 on De La Rosa.
So a combined 21 strikeouts today. That's a lot, right?
And a game in which Lancaster put everything in play last night.
Yeah. And the night before.
Yeah. De La Rosa lifts a fly ball into shallow right field. Should be the ball game. And it's going to be Obregon with the catch. And that will end the inning and the ball game. A 1-2-3 9th inning for Ricardo Gomez. And the Revs will win it here this afternoon 4-0 to avoid that 3-game sweep.
Obregon, how funny is that? He retires the final batter, and he wasn't even a member of the Revolution when we got here this morning.
So York wins it 4-0. Don't forget, Barnstormers homestand will continue beginning on Tuesday when they take on the Sugarland Skeeters. Dave Collins will be back in the seat. I want to thank Dave for letting me sit in for him over the weekend. Hope he enjoyed his son's graduation. I'm sure he'll be excited to be back in beginning Tuesday. Again, that 3-game set against the Sugarland Skeeters. 6:30 with the first pitch, 6:15 airtime here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel. Andrew, it was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, Eric. Really appreciate it. You know what? Unfortunate result today. But, you know, I think you've said it before here. You know, sometimes just you're going to lose, right? I mean, it's part of the sport and part of the nature, and fans hate it, you know, and the players are much like the same. You know, you love to win, hate to lose. This is one of those games where the weather wasn't good. You know, it was a neutral game going into the bottom of the second. Then we're delayed for 25 to 30 minutes, and, you know, things just swung in the Revs' favor after that. And to their credit, this is a team that got blistered up for 20 runs over 2 days. I mean, you know, they had vengeance in mind. They wanted to come out and put a good game together. Their pitching staff did everything they needed to do. And you know what? Things happen. A 5-game win streak comes to an end, but an opportunity to start another one up against the Sugar Land Skeeters. And last time we checked, that game tied just minutes ago. Was in the bottom of the fourth, 3-3 with Somerset. Top of the fifth, and the Pats have retaken the lead, so it's 4-3 there. And if the Skeeters lose, it continues to be just a game and a half behind. The Barnstormers would remain a game and a half behind them as they fall to 6-4 on the season. York Revolution back at 500 with a 5-5 record, but look, it was a good homestand, I think, for the first series. Tough game Sunday, whatever, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, big games, real important. You talked about it with Ross earlier this morning. This is an early test in an early season, but Skeeters are a very good team, and it's now time to use them as a measuring stick for where the Barnstormers stand.
And you get them at home, which is where the Barnstormers want to be. So, final line score here this afternoon for the Revs: 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors. They left 5 on base. For the Barnstormers, no runs, 4 hits, 2 errors. They also left 5 on base. Jay Gauze, the winner. He is now 2-0 on the season. Brooks Hall, tough luck loser this afternoon. He is 0-1. Again, Barnstormers back on the air Tuesday night when they entertain the Sugar Land Skeeters 4-3. We hope you will join them then. So for Andrew Moss Brooks, I'm Eric May. Thanks for joining us. Revs win it here this afternoon, 4-0. You've been watching Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel. Good night, everybody.
Like craft beers, local wines? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, all new for 2018 is the Broken Bat deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat will feature more than 20 local craft breweries and product from 2 local wineries. If something with a little more kick is your adult beverage of choice, a local distillery is part of the Broken Bat as well. Food will be sold off a pub-style menu, so get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
AMT Concerts presents Rock at the Park Festival, Saturday, July 21st, featuring sets from Fuel, Eve 6, Sister Hazel, Long Beach Dub All-Stars, Fastball, and more. Rock at the Park, Saturday, July 21st, at Clipper Magazine Stadium, Lancaster. Tickets on sale now at rockatthepark.com.